It was a nice stroll along the river for a little bit before it turned turbulent, and Mom had to blast away rocks with Eldritch blasts, and a giant-sized Yarick steering the boat, and a couple of quick-thinking grappling hooks made out of mage hands and rope. The group steered themselves safely to calmer waters and decided that was enough of the river and promptly left with the intention to walk the rest of the way. They know that they could just follow this water or this river and it would lead to the bay where the city of Ashra Zalen would be on an island. While the sun hung high in the sky, the group was quite tired from their excursions through the woods and the river ride, and with Yarick's magic, Leomin's tiny hut, they took rest and took shelter. While resting, a curious owlbear kind of hung out and watched the hut until Ren, I believe, fed him. Training all future owlbear generations that magical domes shoot out food if you stand on them long enough.
They also poke you. If you
Yeah,
stand on
and
them long
poke.
enough.
Yeah. Once the group was rested enough, the hut dispersed, had some food and breakfast, and Mom prepared for their journey onward.
Perfect.
That's where we left off.
Thanks, Henry. All right, so like you just said, the group kind of followed the river all the way to a large body of water, which across the way you can see bits and pieces of a city, kind of like rising out of a forest on an island across the bay. We left off. You guys had left the boat, deciding that you didn't really care for river travel all that much, and now we are basically on the shores of this bay. The five of you, having made your way through the realms of the Unseelie where you emerged from the portal, and now the problem before you is how to cross this bay. What do you guys do to start out with?
You know, we should have probably kept that boat.
Yeah.
Is there like any like houses or anything that we can see on this side of the bay?
Nothing that you can see. Doesn't look like anybody lives on this side of the bay.
Well, they have to travel there somehow.
A lot of the times, there are these giant swan birds that pull boat carriages, floating wagons,
So
boats.
what you're telling us is that we need to find a giant swan bird.
Or maybe a ring of mushrooms so we can maybe teleport.
Ring of mushrooms?
Yeah, it's called a fairy circle.
Okay, that sounds extremely dangerous.
And we just
It
cut that
is.
tree or two and float to the other side.
Oh no, I can't fly over water.
Well, technically you can.
But I
We're not gonna force you doing it. We'll find a different way.
Alright, since you asked, why don't you go ahead and give me a perception check?
Okay.
Hey, Andre, can't you, like, turn?
It's a 10.
Mm.
Did I finish your thought, Red?
No, never mind. I just realized that Ren doesn't know this in character. I was
Oh, fair
thinking
enough.
again. Sorry.
You're good.
Character.
Okay,
Oh,
I
fair
with
enough.
that you
Sorry.
don't really notice anything within distance of you, but across the way you do see that there is signs of like kind of a port, some sort of like safe port on one side of the city, and you can see that there are definitely boats, even some that you might recognize as like warships. You know, there's a navy basically across the way. That the elves that inhabit the city would maintain. But there doesn't seem to be like any constant travel in or out.
Well, I am sure if we walk along the shore and keeping the city in sight, we'll find like some village or something. Because like, while fairies can fly, I'm sure there are plenty of other denizens, sorry, I forgot like a word for it and then I remembered. Denizens of the Feywild that don't fly.
Yeah.
So they must have like a port or something. Or like a village that like ferries them across. Because they can't just stay in the city all the time. They need like, it doesn't look like the city, it doesn't look like the city has like farms there, or do they? Like,
You can't really tell from this
Oh.
distance.
it doesn't look like is it like a large island, or is it like just a city
Yes.
island? Oh, okay.
It's a pretty large island. So you can see like the city as part of it.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the port, but that's not like the entire island.
Okay. Well, either way, they would probably have to travel and stuff, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, worst comes to worst, we can't find a way across. Don't ask how, but I can turn somebody into a giant crocodile. Maybe we could ride on them across.
We can ride on them what?
Maybe we can make a signal and ask for help.
Help from whom?
Yeah.
Or we could cut a tree and stay on it and push it to the other side.
No.
That sounds very dangerous.
Okay, wait. I think Yark is onto something. We cut the tree, we tie it to the giant crocodile, and everybody rides on the tree.
That's a good way to
Okay,
mix
so-
the egg. Those aren't our trees.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that like in general it's a bad idea to cut plants in the Feywild. I don't know why, but it feels like a bad idea.
That's a good point. The bushes around here are really mean.
Especially cause like if you remember that one tree was talking to us and like it was very helpful.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Athos.
So I
It's
don't
nice.
think it's a good idea to just snip a random tree.
Yeah, that's fair. Might like kill his brother, or cousin.
Yeah. And I'm sure there are plenty of other like what's the word? Sentient trees and bushes and plants and shit.
Yeah. Okay, we'll call the giant crocodile Plan B or C.
Okay, so you can only make one person a giant crocodile?
Yeah, that's a
tragic.
one-time thing.
How long does that last?
You know, let me think a bit. Never actually done this before. An hour.
An hour. That's how large is the bay? Like how far away is the island from the shore?
Pretty big.
Approximately how long would it take a giant crocodile to go from one side to the other?
Let me look at a giant crocodile swim
Who
speed.
has
Give me
a
1
swimming
second.
speed of 50 feet.
Right.
So if they double dash, well, not double dash, just dash. Well, they probably can't dash if they're carrying somebody on them.
So they would just have to go over and ask for help to bring everyone else.
You could do that alone, Landry, while flying there.
Yeah.
No, I can't fly over the water. I don't know how to swim.
Well, you won't need to swim if you fly.
So we'll say it's about a mile across, just for the record.
Okay, I don't know how that converts to feet.
5,280.
Yep.
That's a lot.
So it would take roughly 630 turns.
Which is 10 minutes? No,
Yeah.
more than that.
Is that
Yeah, I'm trying to do the math in my head. It would take a while, but a crocodile could cover that in an hour.
630
Easy.
turns, you said?
Yeah. 630 times.
That's about
6
100
seconds.
minutes, right? So an hour and a half, an hour and
Sure.
30 minutes.
Okay.
We'll say a crocodile would be able to cover that, though.
Yeah, especially if it's dashing.
Yeah,
It's
if it's
100.
dashing, it's
Mhm.
like 100 feet per turn. But I hate
So,
out of
question,
combat
because
travel.
I probably did that math wrong, just for the
I'll
record.
do
But
some math.
I've never actually used a polymorph spell before. Can
Sure.
people ride on the giant animals? Like, I don't know, there's
Yes.
like a giant elk.
Oh,
You
yes.
can ride on that, right? Okay.
oh yes,
I just
That's-
assumed so, but I just want to double check.
for the one person I know that's listening, he definitely knows you can ride giant animals because he played in my other campaign where I rode a giant elk all the time.
Ooh.
So
Okay, so
shout out to Bullwinkle. Is that what we're doing?
no, we're trying to figure
That's
out.
plan B.
Should we just walk across the shore for a bit and see if we find anything?
You
that's
can.
valid.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Probably a way to get there. I mean,
There should be a way to get there.
maybe some detect magic?
You can try.
Yes, I could do that if we all wait a few minutes.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, while you're doing that, I'm gonna plant one of Athos's acorns here on the little off the shore.
Kind of a little bit back and not like a beach, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So 1 hour is 600 turns, by the way.
Okay, so yeah,
And
we'll just say
it's
roughly a crocodile
600
could cover that.
turns times by it can cover 60,000 feet, which is less than 5,000, which is more than 5,000.
Okay, I messed up somewhere.
Because speed of a crocodile, if what Ren said
That makes sense, yeah.
is 100, so if it's dashing, it can cover 60,000 feet. Which means that it can cover 5 to 80. It can cover the bay 11 times back.
She's okay.
It can make 11 trips across the bay.
Okay,
So-
well, if y'all wanted to, you could all just ride the
5
crocodile across
5 trips back and forth. But that's if it's
one at a
dashing.
time.
If it's not dashing, it's only gonna be two or three trips back and
Okay.
forth. Math. Who knew that you needed for D&D?
Everyone that's ever played D&D.
I
Yeah.
So I still vote that's B plan B because I
Plan
know I
B.
Yeah,
suggested it. I
understandable.
don't actually want to use my 5th level spell slot.
Yeah,
So-
no, understandable. We should probably find something.
All right. Can Ren cast detect magic then?
Sure.
Or, all right.
And we'll just walk across the shore and see if we see anything.
We have
Okay.
a
Maybe-
5th level spell slot?
Maybe we'll see. Oh, well, if Ren is casting that, we'll have to sit for 10 minutes. But once Ren finishes casting, we can walk across the shore and see if we see anything. Maybe we'll even see one of the ships leave the port and see where it lands.
Yeah.
You know, we probably should have watched for. Oh, sorry, watched for that while we were resting. Were we resting close to the?
Not particularly
Oh,
close,
okay.
no.
Yeah, I think we walked for an hour.
Oh, yeah, then we couldn't have watched it. So
Real quick, you guys are level 8?
7.
7?
7. Did you
Yeah,
say a 5th level?
Oh, it's a 4th level. Polymorph is 4th level. Makes more
Oh,
sense.
it is? Okay, I heard you ask
yeah,
about
yeah.
5th level. I was like, I don't remember
No,
that.
I definitely said 5th level. I
Okay,
mixed
yeah,
it up.
sorry. I was just clarifying. I was like, I don't remember what level I have you guys at. So,
Fred has secretly been level 10 all along.
When she's just leveling up whenever she feels like it. Make a deception check. No. Okay, so real quick, Ren, you're casting as a ritual detect magic.
Yep.
I'll do the same.
You are moving up and down the shoreline just a little bit to see if you spot anything. How long do you walk,
Well,
How far do you go?
I was gonna wait until Ren finishes casting her
Okay.
spell.
Okay. Yark's also doing it. So we got double detect magic going. Indri, you're planting an acorn in reference to Athos. Kieran, are you doing anything?
Really, is there anything you guys could use Kieran's help with?
I mean,
You could probably help
Yeah, like look around.
kind of look for any signs of life or village or anything like that.
All right, yeah, I'll do that then.
Why don't you two give me an investigation check? Or one of you do it with advantage, because I think one of you is probably proficient, correct?
I think Kieran
I have
actually
horrible.
Oh, do you
horrible
have
investigation.
I thought Kieran had a good investigation. Oh, okay.
He's got good
perception.
survival.
Investigation or perception?
Let's do investigation since you're actually
Okay,
looking
then
for.
I'll roll with advantage because I have +2.
Okay.
I'll try to help. Yeah, that's about right.
Wow.
I was gonna roll with advantage,
Not a
but
smart
okay.
person.
Kieran actually distracts you so badly
Yeah.
that you find nothing. With that, you can see like pretty far down the beach here that there is like we'll say just like a little sign of smoke. It's pretty far.
That might be
But
something.
it does look like somebody is there's like a camp or a shack or something far enough down where they have a fire.
Okay.
Yarrick and Ren, you guys both detect magic. Magic is everywhere in the Feywild. It's just teeming with magic. But there's nothing in particular that you're looking for, like as far as like a magic way to cross the water. Nothing of that nature within the range of what you're doing here.
I'm gonna come back with Curry and be like, hey, we saw some smoke over there that might be a way to cross over.
All right.
Yeah, let's get going.
Okay, let's
Okay.
head over there then.
Yeah,
So
Rick's
you
got some
guys-
hopper.
Awesome. Okay, so you guys start to move down the beach, and it takes you a while because it was pretty far down the way.
But
And as you're moving, you see signs of life like out in the bay, large wildlife, kind of almost whale-like, kind of breaching the water at points. You do see some movement from the port across the way as you're moving, but it's mostly like fishing-sized vessels that are kind of moving out of the port and staying pretty close to the island. As you get there, towards the source of the smoke, you see one person kind of sitting on a log outside of a small little shack with a small boat tied up on the shore. All you see is one figure. What do you guys do?
what does it look like?
Yeah, since they're the humanoid-looking figure.
Humanoid, yeah.
Well,
Can't tell from where you guys are, unless you want to get closer.
yeah, I'm
I'll
going
get
to
closer.
I'm going to approach along with Yarrick.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Go
go
with.
hover just above and behind the
But
shoulder.
just like go over, like obviously not trying to be not threatening. Basically, like
Okay.
just kind of wave at them from the distance to get their attention.
Okay.
I don't know for you,
So-
but Yarix is never threatening.
Yeah,
Yarrick is
fair
so
enough.
small, Yarrick is not threatening at all.
Yarrick is just like drinking a beer while he's walking. Like, where did you even get that? Okay, so as of right now, their back is actually turned to you. They don't notice you yet.
Hello, excuse us.
You see them kind of sit up and turn around, and it is an elf man garbed in really simple clothing, turns around and says, "Well, hello. Didn't expect to see anyone out here."
Yeah, sorry about bothering you. Is there like a village around here that like ferries people across the water by any chance? Do you know?
Oh, no villages.
Oh,
Not on this side of the bay, at least.
okay. Is there?
Could you help us get across?
Possibly. Looks like there are quite a few of you.
Yeah, there is a little bit.
One of us is really small, though.
It looks like one of you is very big as well, and he kind of eyes towards Kieran.
Yeah, well, you know,
Karen just
all things in
smiled.
balance.
Don't we have like don't I'm gonna like turn. Don't we have like a spell to like make Karen small for a little bit? Oh, it doesn't like it lasts only a minute, doesn't it?
It would be so fun to have a small Karen.
But it only lasts a minute, I think.
It's an angry little creature.
Short king.
We'd be the same size.
All right then, we can do that because I'm pretty sure it's really fast. So would you be able to ferry us across, or do you know somebody else who could do that?
I suppose I could. Are you just trying to get across the bay to Astrazelia?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's simple enough. Yeah, I think I might be able to do that. I almost hate to ask, but would you be willing to compensate me for
Of course.
my troubles?
What would you like? We have money.
Well, I-
Berries.
Wouldn't say no to a bit of gold.
How
Okay,
much are you
how
thinking?
much? Yes.
Well, how much do you think your trouble is worth?
I look at the rest of them and I'm like, I'm willing to like shell out 50 gold to carry us across.
Ren's
That's a
eyes
lot
are
of
gonna
money.
widen. She's gonna do like a hand across the throat gesture. Very emphatically to eye.
I'm sure 5 gold is way more than enough.
Yeah,
I
5
don't know
gold
how-
per person.
I don't know how gold works.
And Endrick makes his pockets inside out, revealing he has no money.
Yeah, 5 gold per person. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that sounds about right.
25?
5 gold per person, and my buddy here will play you a song on the way. He's like a genius. It'll be
You can
great.
also-
Really now?
You can also pet our dog.
Mm-hmm.
It looks quite friendly.
He is really
I'll tell you
friendly.
what. Let's have that song first, and after that, we may have a deal.
Alright.
Ren's gonna
So
whisper
give
to
me-
Yarick, make it good.
Give me a performance check.
Can I
Yikes.
join with my loot?
Sure.
Yarrick even cast guidance on himself.
Should I roll a separate performance check or does Yari get advantage?
I tell you what, for this, since you're actually joining him in it, both of you give me a performance check.
Okay.
Can I get
That's
in on that?
persuasion, that's the wrong one.
Yeah.
My pan flute?
26.
It's
God,
25, I
16.
don't have advantage.
Oh, sorry.
But it's 26 still.
For a
Come
second
on,
I
man. That's
panicked
overkill.
because I thought that was entry rolling a 1.
Andrew's just really bad at pan flute.
It's alright.
All right, so you guys put on a show for this guy, and Yarick is clearly the most practiced here. But I and Indri both are passable musicians as well. And you see him kind of get into it, and he pulls out like a little drum and actually starts to play along with you guys. And after you guys all finish, he actually kind of gestures to like sit down around his fire. He says, "Oh yeah, of course. I'll tell you what. Since that was such a good performance, and it's been a while since I've had a band to join in with my drum, I'll ferry you across for free. And please sit down and have some of my food as well." And you can kind of see now that he is roasting some fish over this fire. And he's kind of turning it a little bit every once in a while to get it even. But gestures for you all to sit down.
Is this guy an elf or an Eladrin?
Well, we'll say,
They have physical differences.
yeah. Let me look up what they are.
I have some spices to go with that fish, if you allow me.
Would Ren have any kind of like hesitancy towards eating food in the Feywild? Like, how much would she know about that? Can I make some kind of check?
That's part of the reason I'm asking if he's an elf.
Oh, okay.
Eladrin.
Entry will try to subtly shake his head at everybody.
Well, I think we're a little bit not in a specific hurry, but we would like to head over as soon as possible.
But the fish looks so good.
Yeah, Karen's just gonna look like, no food?
I think, I mean, if you guys want to eat, you should. But Andre's like shaking his head no with just his eyeballs as he's talking.
You're just shaking his eyeballs back and forth.
Is that what the sleight of hand is for?
Yeah.
Okay. So Endry, with that, he's actually turned around, turning this fish right now. So he does not see you gesturing to the rest of the party.
If my passive perception is higher than that sleight of hand, like, would I notice, or do I have to roll perception?
If your passive perception is higher, then yes, you would notice.
I think he's trying to make it clear to us and not clear to the Eldrin, so I think we would notice anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, unless we're very oblivious.
Right.
Which Karen just looks very disappointed.
Perception of 11, so I don't know if I noticed that, but either way.
I'll say with Indri's roll, yes, you would.
Okay.
He's able to make it obvious enough while this guy is turned around.
We would like to, if you want to offer us food, we'd like to take it with us, but we do need to cross the bay. This is a little bit of a time-sensitive matter.
Yeah. And we had like a very big breakfast, we're trying out this new diet, no protein allowed. So I think we should
protein?
just don't worry about it.
Vegetarian then. You did look a little untrustworthy.
Me.
I'd like some fish.
I had a good berry, and I just don't have any room for any more food.
Yeah.
Good berries. It's been some time since I've had any of those. Well, suit yourselves, I suppose, but if you'll give me just a few minutes to break camp here, I'll gladly take you across the bay. But since you're not partaking of my hospitality, I will take that 25 gold, please.
Okay.
But I want the fish.
Do you need any help breaking camp? And
no, it will be quite fast.
I is already pulling out the 25 gold to hand over.
Okay.
Since she doesn't want to upset this very possibly powerful Archfey. She doesn't know what Archfey look like.
Yeah, Rick is kind of confused on why we are paying instead of not paying and having free food.
Andrew said not to eat. I is gonna default to what Andrew says about the Feywild.
Yeah.
Yarrick would take a close look at the fish, actually. Wants to know why Andrew would say that.
I'll tell you later.
Okay. So, since you guys are paying instead of partaking, he breaks camp. Doesn't really need a lot of help from you guys. It's not a big camp or anything like that. Packs up what little he has, puts it in the boat with you guys, and you all pile in, and you make your way across the bay. Do you guys speak to him at all while you're moving, or is it just a quiet ride?
Yarrick is playing his violin again, softly.
Yeah, Andre is clutching to Curran's pack the whole time.
So you guys notice just like the sound of seagulls overhead. This is just like a beautiful bay, and as you're looking back on where you came from, it's kind of like our picture here, just full of all these colors, kind of almost alien to the forest that you guys are used to. The water itself is like eerily still, though. Something unusual. Most of you guys are from at least places where this would not be normal. Like the amount, it's almost like glass, like looking over glass. He doesn't actually engage with you guys really at all. He's pretty quiet the whole way. If you guys were to ask him something direct, he would respond to that. But outside of that, he's very quiet. Do you guys do anything else, or are we just gonna get to the city?
Ren's gonna ask, so what should we call you? Didn't catch your name.
Well, I go by the name Ristel. I will in the chat for you.
Thank you for that chat.
D&D names.
Yeah, fantasy names.
Right.
Style.
But I spend most of my time alone, so most people don't call me anything.
Oh,
Don't talk to the trees a whole bunch.
Oh, the trees are quite nice, actually.
we met. Very
Sometimes they
nice.
won't shut up, though. But they're like myself. They spend all their time alone and rarely get the opportunity.
We actually met a very nice tree on the way here.
Oh, did you? What was his name?
As
Athos.
Athos, yes.
Yeah. Oh, Athos. Yes. Yes, I need to make a trip to see him at some point.
He was very nice to us.
Tell me, did he send you down the river?
Yeah.
That's one of his favorite jokes.
I don't think. We thought after a while that maybe he didn't know what the river like is, but from that
Oh, no.
comment, I think he might know what the river is like.
Well, the river's not terribly dangerous, but he does like to send people down it as a bit of a joke.
It did get us here faster, I think.
He's not lying when he tells you that it is the fastest way. Dangerously so in some places, I'm afraid.
Well, we got here.
Well, in one piece, and that's commendable. And he's just rowing like the whole time.
That was fun. I really want to do it again.
Yes, once you know how to navigate it, it's quite enjoyable, really.
I'm sure Andrew enjoyed it as much as me.
Indri's just like clutched on Kieran's pack, like shuddering in the base of his boat.
Shivering, yeah.
Andrew, do you want to like hide in my hood by any chance?
No, I'm already right here.
Oh, okay. I
Thank
just
you,
thought it would
Alex.
be easier on you if you just didn't see the water.
That is usually the case, yeah. I like the enclosed boats.
Mm.
Well, I mean, I like them more, I should say. I don't like them.
Well, if there's nothing else...
How much longer is this gonna take?
Oh, it won't be that long. Maybe another 10 or 15 minutes.
Oh, we're doing the scenic tour, Andrew.
No.
You see him laugh
Do you
as
feel
he
like
kind of
that?
realizes what's going on, and if there's nothing else, you guys would pass across the bay pretty uneventfully. You guys just pile out of the boat once you hit the shores.
Yeah, and I'm gonna turn and be like, thank you so much for ferrying us across. Here's a little bit extra for being such a hospitable person, and I'm going to hand him another 5 gold.
Oh, thank you very kindly. This will go
And-
far.
Here's a good berry if you miss the taste.
Oh, these are quite the treat. And you see him actually take it and eats it in one go. It's like, different flavor than I'm used to. Where are you from?
Really? Oh, that's a long question. That's a hard question, really.
Definitely not from around here with a taste like that.
You know where Eberron?
Can't say that I do, but
That's what I thought. So
I'm
yeah,
sure there's some that might. And with that, you guys see him kind of like begin to push the boat back into the water.
Bye,
And
Ristle. Thanks for your help.
farewell. And he gets in, starts to row back off the beach, and you guys are on the outskirts of Astrazalian, the more or less capital of elves in the Feywild, and elves, not Eladrin.
Well,
Indri, make a history check for me.
Okay.
well, that was quite easy.
Yeah. What do you mean, entry? People here are super nice.
Yeah, why didn't you want me to eat the fish? It looked so good.
Oh, where's history? Oh my god. Well, you see, everything has to stay in balance. If we got a ride and fish from him, we'd be doubly out of balance with him.
Is it like a favor thing?
Yeah.
I read some stories that like fey creatures like to make people give them like to give favors to people and then hold that over them. Is that true?
Yeah, definitely. Yep. And that's
Yeah.
see,
So
if we like knew him, it'd be one thing. But since I didn't know him and we just met him, and
does
know,
that
he's-
also apply to like elves out here, or like is it just fey creatures like fairies and like whatever he was? Because he was a weird elf.
so the elves like they might do it for like society reason, but my kind and the Eladrin, like there's actual power there. You know, like
Okay.
I could say you guys all owe me a favor because of that one thing. And well, no, here that's not a good example. Like we could all say that
We owe each other a lot
Yarick-
of favors at this point.
Yarick owes Ren a favor, a life debt even, like, but it's
Wait, what? Why?
the dragon. Or was that Tristan that fell down? Didn't you help?
Honestly,
heal
Yarick,
somebody?
Yarick got burned pretty
I think at
badly.
this point all of us owe each other favors, so
Yeah.
I think we're
I-
all even.
I
Yeah.
just went prone to evade his next attack. That's all.
So I'll cut in just a little bit here. The city of Astrazalian, and Indra, you would know this, having been here many times. The elves that inhabit it are not necessarily of the Fae in the way that Indri is. This city, in particular, bounces between realms. So it spends roughly half the time in the Feywild, and then the other half in the material plane. So it's not as purely Fey as like the being that you just encountered. So the elves that live there are kind of the same way. They're not like bound to the same customs because they inhabit both places often. Now that being said, you don't really have a good way to tell which is which, like who is who in this particular setting. So what he's telling you could or could not be true of any given character that you might encounter. Does that make sense? Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
sometimes things also, yeah, they just don't look like what they look like. With like glamours and the like.
So basically we should be careful about anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
So there's no change from the other world, basically.
Yeah,
True.
what you're telling me is that everybody wants to put us into debt and everybody's gonna lie to us, so I mean, I feel
Yep.
right at home.
But,
Do you have access in the Feywild, Ren?
Oh, not to my knowledge, so this place might even be better than home, you know? Clean slate, new people to meet.
New people to break up with.
Exactly. It's half the fun of a relationship, am I right?
Okay. Well, you guys are on the outskirts now. Not even really in the city at all, but you are like amongst buildings. And I'm gonna go ahead and drop you on some new artwork.
I apologize. I know we like just started, but I need to go run to the restroom now.
Yeah, sure.
Back in
Yeah,
just a
that's cool.
minute.
You're good.
so pretty.
Oh, that's
This-
so pretty.
This is literally the only artwork I could find of the city from any published materials. So what you guys kind of see as you're beginning to move into the city is that the city is built really into nature. Like, it doesn't take away from nature at all. Like Indri was just kind of discussing, a lot of the things here exist in balance. And that is true of like the architecture of the city. It doesn't take away from everything that's around it. It's like incorporated into it. So there's a lot of these things that are built into the forest, like trees, sometimes grow through buildings. It's built into the rock. It's not, there's very little like deconstruction of nature that is happening here. And you can see that in the walkways in the streets of the city. Like, it's lined with trees that look almost wild, like compared to a city that you would find in the material plane. It's hard to distinguish almost at points like where nature ends and civilization starts. But there are some familiarities between this and like a material plane city, in that you can find streets, you can see where businesses are. I mean, this is a fully functioning city, just existing cooperatively with the nature the space that it inhabits, rather than like completely destroying it and then building up a city where it was. So what are you guys looking for? Like, what here?
Beautiful.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think we were going to look for anybody who can help us with like historic knowledge.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure if somebody else has any ideas that we were
Yeah.
looking. Because I think we were looking for somebody who might know anything about these Dragon Orbs.
Mm-hmm.
So probably a library with scholars would be
Sure.
the best bet.
Okay. We can wait till Ender gets back
Yeah.
and see if he knows anything like that. Or we can kind of come up with a game plan of who you want to ask for that kind of knowledge.
I think we should wait until entry is
Yeah.
back real quick, because that should
Okay.
be quick.
Probably just be a minute.
Yeah. Also, well, I can talk about this later.
We had planned also on trying to find one of the High Fae. Is what they're
Well,
called?
The Archfey?
I think
Archfey,
we were planning
yeah.
to find them for the same reason of, hey,
Yes.
they might know shit about the Feywild and like know shit about like old history, because don't like Fey live like thousands of years? At least
Yeah,
Archfey.
so why don't I'll tell you what, why don't you actually, Indri, you're back.
I am.
So Indri would be able to tell you that Archfey are the most powerful beings in the Feywild, outside of gods, literal gods. They are beings that have kind of collected power, or grown power naturally throughout their lifespans, that rival gods. Although for the lore of our specific setting here, they are not gods. They are very powerful. They live seemingly forever, but they're not actual deities. Fair enough? Everybody got that?
Mhm.
Cool.
Yep. Exactly.
Indri, they were talking a little bit. The game plan is to find any information that we can about the orbs of Dragonkind. So why don't you give me another history check real quick, and let's see if you know of any institutions in the city that might have any knowledge of that.
Okie dokie.
Obviously, I think you would imagine that Titania has some knowledge of everything in the Feywild, but I'm not so sure that you want to go see her just yet.
Exactly. So I'd be like looking for something that is not directly tied to
Right.
that stuff.
Dude,
Okay, I'm gonna
so you.
hold on.
Oh,
I'm
go ahead.
gonna use some magical guidance and
Okay.
sponge. Okay, yeah, just reroll. Spend a history or spend a
15. Okay. So you know that there is like a university, basically, or like a research institute in the city, called the Zenith Court. You don't know of anyone in particular that you can call on there.
Sure.
Um,
We could probably head over to the Zenith Court. Is that what you said?
yes.
They tend to like gather knowledge and stuff from what I've heard. I've never been there personally, and I don't know anyone there, but it's probably a decent spot to start.
But they might tell us information if we're nice enough to them, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Possibly.
Hopefully.
let's go there then.
Okay. So as you guys are walking, you are seeing kind of like all of these businesses that are open really at odd hours. There's no like consensus in the city that you can tell so far about like when businesses are supposed to be open, because it's always daytime here. So people are just kind of open whenever they're like, it's, I guess I'm awake now, so I'll run my bar for a little while. And you start to see signs of that. There are different bars. There's like establishments where people, have built restaurants, things like that. All of the amenities of a city. Hopper like licks your face, Yark, as you do that. So as you're walking through the city, though, I want who's in front. Who's leading the pack here?
Oh yeah, I can be in front.
Oh, not yet.
Okay.
I meant entry, but Gary can be in front as well. My
Yeah,
bad.
So
I'll kind of like be behind you, kind of pointing a couple of
Okay.
paths to take and stuff.
So you guys, actually, really, with maybe the exception of Kieran, this is the most like at home this group of adventurers has ever felt, because you guys are not like terribly out of place in this city for the first time ever. We have a fairy, a satyr, an elf, halfling, and then there's Kieran, who's the giant half orc, kind of bringing up the party and is dirty and disheveled as always. But like nobody's really giving you guys an eye. Every once in a while, you probably get like a snide look, Kieran in particular, just because you're the odd man out in this setting. But Yark, why don't you give me a perception check?
Perception.
All right. So as you're moving through the city, you are surrounded by elves, and they are really well dressed. This is a high society kind of place. These elves are haughty, but you're passing by a bar, or a tavern, I guess is probably the more accurate fantasy table.
Yeah.
And of course, yeah, Yark, you pass by it and you get the whiff of beer and you're like, oh man, gotta go in there. But as you look over, you see a particularly gruff, old, kind of like frowning dwarf, which is incredibly out of place in this setting, because you can see that he in particular is getting a lot of nasty looks from everyone around him. Do you guys stop? I mean, is the drug?
Oh yeah.
Oi,
Here.
what do a fellow need to do to get some service around here? You hear the dwarf speak.
Hello, Master Dwarf.
Hello? Do you work here?
No. Do you?
No, I'm trying to get a beer and this fancy elf will not.
Same. Let's get some beer.
If you can
Gary,
help me get a beer, then by all means, maybe they will pay you some attention. And you can see that this particular dwarf has he has a cloak, but underneath it he has some chainmail armor and an axe to its side. And both of them, I don't think Yarrick would notice it, but anyone who has been in Faerun would notice that these are very old style weapons, like not anything within the last couple 100 years.
Yarrick in particular would not be apt to notice something like that.
Right.
And really, most of our party members are pretty young, so I don't know that any of them would notice definite age, but old for sure.
Yeah, Rick is
Wow.
already inside trying to get a beer anyway.
And the dwarf follows him. Like,
I is gonna like sigh because we're like trying to find things here, but they already are left into the bar, so she's gonna be like, well, I guess we can go and just see if anybody here can point us in the right direction.
So what's in there in the bar? Tavern or establishment?
Okay, yeah, so you have entered into a place, and as you walk in, you see a plaque kind of on the wall of the door, basically outside, that says it's a place called the Lantern Tree. And you move in, and you see that it is indeed a tavern, but there's no roof on it. And instead, there is a magnificent tree growing in the center of this establishment that is, by all appearances, hundreds of years old. And its branches kind of snake out across the entire establishment. And from it are hung just dozens of lanterns that are dimly lit and casting light over it. So it has this really nice shade to the whole place, but it's well lit as well. You can tell that this is a very nice establishment as well. And most of you, again, when you move in, are not really given any second thought. But Kieran, when you move in, you see a couple of the workers in the bar kind of give you a snide look because you look out of place in a place this nice.
Okay, I guess when Kieran notices that, he sort of looks away, kind of unsure what to do, sort of almost embarrassed, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The dwarf walks to the bar and starts drumming his fingers on the bar, trying to get attention.
The barkeep specifically ignores you.
Unsurprisingly.
Yeah,
Yes.
Rick will climb up a seat to get his face ahead of the bar height, and look at the barkeep and try to wave at the barkeep.
He notices you, and in particular, he ignores the dwarf and comes to you, and just looks down, kind of almost annoyed, who are all these people coming into my my bar? He looks down at you and says, "Yes, what might I get you?"
Hello, good sir. Hey, your establishment is really wonderful. Seriously.
Yes, it is. Now, what may I get you?
I'd like you a beer, please.
Fair enough. That will be 1 gold.
For sure, for sure. Here you go.
He pours you a pint and
Hey.
sets it in front of you.
Halfling, if you can get me to give me a dark ale, and the dwarf will slide you a gold piece.
Is there any reason you don't want to serve the master dwarf right next to me, sir? If I may
We
ask.
don't appreciate his kind in our establishment, that is all. There is no further discussion to be had about this.
And what kind might it be?
Look at yourself, dwarf.
Oh, come on.
Elves.
You can relieve him of some gold. That would be nice, wouldn't
If it will get him to go away, then yes. 1 gold, please.
For a beer.
For a beer. And I'm gonna need some of that fruity wine for the princess upstairs.
Very well.
I
1
assume
more
this is the
additional
White
gold.
Poplar Inn?
This is actually the lantern tree.
Okay.
Yep.
Then just for the princess.
Very well. 1 more gold.
There you go.
He takes it and pours a glass of wine and a glass of ale and gives it to, not to you, but to Yark.
Here you go, Master Dwarf.
Thank you. At least one person in the city has any manners.
I mean, if you weren't that grumpy, maybe that'd help a bit, you know?
If I weren't in this place, I wouldn't be this grumpy.
Well,
How
I
about
mean-
you? You don't look like local.
Oh no, that's for sure.
Tolmant Ironheart at your service.
The
If
name
there's
is
a hand.
Yarrick Twilight Bottle, and as he says his last name, Twilight Bottle, he starts to sip his beer and drink.
Well, cheers, Mr. Twilight Bottle. And Toolman will then start drinking his ale. And he will take the wine and pour it into like the small bottle because he's taking it for someone else.
Fair enough.
I was gonna watch this interaction and like just kind of wait by the door to see like what happens. Because she's basically just waiting for Yarrick to drink his beer so they can continue walking in the direction of wherever this conservatory? What was it?
Yeah,
The Zenith Court.
Zenith Court was.
I'm a bit curious now, Master Dwarf. What are you doing here? I mean, if you're not a local and don't like being here, then why are you here?
Let's say I'm escorting a fairy princess.
A fairy princess? Oh.
Yeah, a fairy princess. And he's not even trying to hide that he's bullshitting you.
almost in the back of the room, over by I and Ren. Andrew goes, "Which one?"
Well, which ones do you know?
Why would a fairy princess ask for a dwarf or an escort?
Beats me.
And shouldn't you like not tell everybody that you're escorting a fairy princess if you want to
that
be an efficient
sounds-
bodyguard or something?
That sounds like a very bad idea to tell people that you're escorting a princess.
Perhaps.
Here in Astrazalian, I mean, it's relatively safe, like violence-wise.
What do you mean, safe? We were attacked like 3 times already.
Not
What?
in here.
There.
Oh, we've been here like 5 minutes.
Have I been attacked in the city in the time that I've been here?
Have you been attacked? No. You have been treated very poorly
Yeah.
by everyone, though.
The city's safe enough. They
They're at least civil. We'll say that.
they walk like you smell of shit, but they will not attack you. Not
I
even sure they
know.
can.
Tries not to look. at
Maybe
her.
Ren could transform you into a crocodile and then you'll be treated more fairly.
Yeah, I could totally do that.
Crocodile.
Oh, you know, there's a variety of options.
Like a camel?
I don't know about camel,
A goat?
but I don't know about goat. How about a monkey?
A dog. Everybody loves dogs.
I don't know about dogs either.
Oh,
You know,
How-
I'd,
how
I'd
do
have
they-
to consult my sources. Goddess.
Is I around there? In the, or is she outside?
I think I's with us, right? Like we're all kind
I's
of.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tolman will look up to. And do they treat goats better around here? You look like you should know.
Ooh.
Excuse me?
I
Points
should
at,
add that
at
to
his
my
head
vicious
where the horns
mockeries.
are. Points at his own head where Ice horns should be.
Yarrick, are you done here?
Wait a second, I'm taking notes for my vicious mockeries.
Yeah,
That's
did
really
get
good.
like that drink to go or something, and Mr. Dwarf, whoever you are, I don't know what your deal is, but like we're kind of on a schedule, we have places to be, so
And at that point, the door opens and... Tall man, is my wine ready? And you see Tristan walk through the door.
oh shit!
You!
Fake out.
I squint at
Guys,
Tristan.
what-
How close is Tristan? So they were by the door. Is Tristan by the door at this point?
Yeah, he just came through the door.
She
He
straight
looks at you in
up,
surprise.
she straight up marches after him and just like backhands him.
Yeah, I'm too shocked to respond to that. Yeah, it hits. Oh! What on earth was that for?
What are you doing?
What are you
What
doing
the
here?
hell?
Well, I mean, you were headed to the Feywild, but that was a while ago. And why here specifically?
I have.
Why
this-
are you even alive?
Yeah, how about we start with the fact that you're alive and you're here?
Are you even Tristan? Because you fell into hell, and the things that come out of hell usually aren't people.
And I sent you messages and you didn't answer.
Wait, did you?
Did you? I don't remember that.
I did once.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think it worked because, like, load reasons.
yeah, magic. Yeah, okay.
Magic.
If you guys would like to make a perception check,
Sure.
feel free.
Andre's gonna come over to Tristan. It's like, where you been? Do you have my knife?
Your knife?
My dagger.
When I like backhanded
What?
him, did she feel anything weird, or was it just like a human?
Asimar's skin, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Felt like
cool.
you backhanded the person.
Okay, cool. So it didn't seem like her hand like went through anything, like an illusion or anything.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, not a
Rin
ghost.
and
Tristan
Yarick,
rubs his
both you guys see Tristan in front of you and don't seem to notice anything different about him.
With a 17, you might notice that the pommel of his sword looks a little bit different, but nothing on
That's
the
it?
person.
How long you been here?
In the city?
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks, perhaps?
How did you get here?
Well, that is a bit of a long story. Maybe we should discuss it somewhere other than here.
Well, we have beer here, so it's a nice place to discuss it.
We're in the middle of like a
Yeah, it's a
trip to
populated
a
area.
library. Yeah, like we really just can't sit around and drink beer. It's not even noon.
It's
And also,
no,
I
it's
don't-
always
Library.
afternoon. It's always noon here.
And also, I would rather not drink beer wherever that short one is present.
Yeah, your friend is said
Is
some
there-
nice things about I.
Nothing untrue.
Yeah, well,
Well.
the truth doesn't always have to be said, buddy.
Well,
Won't make you very many friends.
Maybe that's
Well,
why they look
I-
like your shit.
In all due
Aren't you a
fairness,
little? Aren't you a little bit jumpy?
I have heard Tollman said very few nice things about anybody, so
there are very few people that deserve nice things said about them.
You're certainly not one of them. Come on, guys, can we get out of here? Tristan, I don't know what your fucking deal is, but if you're gonna, like, travel with us again,
You're
we're
gonna
in the
have
middle of
to
something, so let's get
explain.
going.
Are we-
sure. What are you in the middle on? Tollman, can you follow along?
You see him like chug his beer, and he just gets up and
Oh my
follows
god,
you guys
wait,
out.
Tristan, are you the fairy princess he's guarding?
About to say, are we gonna ignore that?
The what?
You're the fairy princess? Oh,
That's what
Tristan, you
Solman
should have
meant.
told us. Why didn't you trust us with the secret? I'm
Certainly
hurt.
looks like it.
He does, doesn't he? It's like
He
the
does.
hair. Yeah,
Oh,
that
it's
little
true.
curl on his forehead. Like, what's
I
that?
told
Definitely.
you, nothing untrue.
As I said, he doesn't say nice things about anybody.
I
That
don't know.
man
I'd
is a
love to be called a
gold
fairy
mine for
princess.
vicious mockeries.
You see, Tulman, you should have been a bard.
Maybe in another life.
Yet another, and Tristan will walk with the group. So, in the middle of something. What specifically?
Oh, just saving the world, nothing more.
I mean, of course, but more specifically than that. Didn't we save the world already?
No.
I would suspect there would be a statue in all of our honor. Please tell me there's a statue of me. There is a statue, right?
No, there is not a statue of you.
What?
You know, I did commission a statue of you before we left, but like I think I messed up your height. I told them like 5'4". Now that I'm looking at you, that might not be quite accurate. But you know, I'm sure it's fine. We'll just make another one that's more accurate, like 5'5". Yeah.
Look,
How tall is Ren?
She's 5'11", if I'm not mistaken. She's like that dude who says like they're 6 feet, but they're actually 5'11". You know,
Yeah.
like that
Fair
dude
enough.
on Tinder.
Make a deception check. About your height.
Okay,
Your
hang on.
disadvantage.
Let me find it. At disadvantage.
but
We're going
more
to
seriously, guys.
14.
Not fooling anybody.
we're,
Fuck.
we're headed to the Twilight. Oh no, the Zenith Court.
Has Tristan, in the time he's been here, tried the Zenith Court
I
to get
don't-
information on what he wants to get information on?
I don't
Or-
think so.
Okay.
Mostly because you wouldn't have
Access?
really any access to it.
Fair enough. Do I know about it?
I think you would know about it, yes.
Okay.
Actually, would you DM me real quick and let me know? Actually, let me DM you. Give me 1 second. I'll put it in Discord for you.
Everybody put your heights into Discord. This is very important.
I need to check my world amble then.
I'm so happy seeing the little Tristan chibi. It looks
Actually, I haven't
really
even looked
good.
at it yet.
Yeah, we thought that the I'll keep wanting to call it Twilight something. The Zenith Court would be a good place to look for info on the Dragon Orbs. Because we may have stopped Prima Thanatos, who he was just a herald. I don't think we've stopped her forces completely.
Well, I would hope at least we delay them. Kept them occupied in the bigger battle.
Hope so. You haven't said anything about my mustache. Doesn't it look good?
Oh, yeah. Very.
Probably didn't recognize me, huh?
You know, not at all. Only because you were with the rest of them. Oh, sorry, I was rolling that to GM, but that's a 20 on deception.
Perfect. Andrew believed every word of it.
Oh yeah.
You know, you also haven't told us how you like got out of the big fiery hole into which you fell. I don't know if that's important at all. It feels
For
kind of important.
For reference, that
It's-
was what the slap was for. Aside from making us think that you were dead.
Well, didn't exactly have a good way to reach you, and it is, like I said, a long story. There was a lot of valiantly fighting my way out of there, and some help. But we might want to discuss that in a more private setting.
Where are you staying?
Yeah,
Help by
What?
who?
let's go with.
I'm
where-
staying at the White Poplar Inn. I've been. Do you know it?
No, we just got here.
Yeah, we
I'm
got here
asking
like 5
Henry.
minutes ago.
Yeah.
Indri probably would.
My roll 20 is like super lucky.
Yeah, mine too.
You.
Um,
So
I think.
So where-
Yeah, I've heard of it. I try to be familiar with all of the places named after trees.
that is a lot of the place around here I have found.
It
Uh,
is.
But, well, if you just got here, where have you been all this time? I thought the plan was to head to the Feywild immediately, and I know it took me a while to get here.
It took us a little bit to get here ourselves. There was
But
issues.
I mean, not
2
that
months?
long, though. 2 months?
2
No, it's been
what?
like 2 days. 3 days, maybe.
Yeah,
what? No, that is not possible.
it's been like 3 days,
Yeah.
right? Like
I mean,
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yep. So for the party, it has been 3 days.
Yeah, just
3
making
long
sure
rests,
that's
basically.
what we.
More or
the-
less, we'll say.
The sun doesn't exactly set here at the regular interval, and neither does it in the other place. But I'm happy in keeping track of when I'm tired and when I rest, and it's easily been more than a month.
You know,
Very likely.
that is very good information to know, actually.
Wait, Tristan, you said
So-
you've been here in the Feywild for a month.
Yes. That is.
That's very weird.
That's very helpful to know, however, because that means that we're not going to be stuck here for whoever knows how long in terms of material plane. It's more compressed.
Or
Hopefully.
we
Well,
go back
that's-
and it's been 500 years.
Well, I sure hope that's not it.
Oh. Yeah, that would be kind of nice.
Would it?
If there has been 500 years and Faerun is still standing, and there is not a statue of me to be found, I am gonna be very disappointed.
So, out of
A
curiosity,
statue of loss, I mean.
would you rather no statue of you, or a statue of you that's 5'4"? Like, which one is preferable? Asking for a friend.
Did
For reference,
did you really
4 is my height.
commission a
That-
5'4" statue of myself?
And
Oh,
I have a statue
definitely.
of myself of 5'4".
I'm inciting that.
I'd like that.
Shit.
She absolutely,
Kristen totally believes
she
it.
absolutely did. It was right before
You
we went.
would, wouldn't you?
We thought you were
I guess
dead.
Yeah, it was like a
You know
memorial
how
thing.
tall I am. Like,
Well, but
We
there was a
never
special on
mentioned you.
statue below 5'5". It was less expensive.
Yeah, I was really sure you were shorter than me. Did you grow while you were here, by any chance? Are you wearing heels?
Is
He's a
Tristan
no one,
wearing heels?
no. I mean, he's wearing armor, but that's not gonna raise him that much.
Hmm. Well, you know, I'm sure I'll be fine. You still look great. Just a little smaller.
It looks like a princess to me. You hear Tolman
Yeah.
say from the
Oh,
background.
you're still
That's
here.
true.
Shut
Yep,
up, Tallman.
He's just tailing you guys.
Oh no, that was like I being passive aggressive.
Oh, sorry. So,
I think I'm starting to see your point regarding Tallman.
Well.
Tristan tells I.
Well, you're stuck with me, princess.
Tristan, don't agree with me. I don't like you.
Yeah, you do. You guys are best friends.
Since
I
when?
think you're a beautiful princess.
You really are. Where
So-
did you find this guy? He's hilarious.
Well, very fittingly, Never mind. What are we looking for?
We're looking for
Andrew?
information on the things, as usual. The initial thing that we were going to be here for.
Yeah, the Zenith Court. Is that right?
Mhm. Yep.
Sorry. I'm having a real mental block with that one. I don't know why.
You're good.
It's not even hard words. That,
So-
or if you want to talk in private, we can make a detour at your the poplar, the white poplar,
The white poplar.
and we can talk and catch each other up on what's been going on.
So,
Oh,
as you guys are kind of moving through the city, I just want to point out that you do see a couple shops. You see like a there's a smithy that you guys pass at one point that looks like it has, you know, all of the basic weapons and stuff like that for sale. You also pass a shop that looks like it is like almost like a curio shop, full of it. The name of the shop is the Pegasus, and underneath, kind of in a tagline, it just says all of your magical needs, or I'm sorry, all of your arcane needs. So just so you guys know, there are kind of some different shops you could visit here if there's anything in particular that you would like to look for.
Ooh, guys, look at that shop. It says all of our arcane needs, and I have a lot of arcane needs. I'm just saying.
Do you
Yeah,
think
do you think they have a mithril armor or something somewhere? That would be nice.
Probably.
Is that what we're doing here now? Shopping?
I mean, no. I mean,
Not necessarily.
just maybe after we go to the, was it a library entry
Well,
or something like that?
We have to save the world, but we can save the world in style.
Yeah.
I agree. But like, you know,
I-
information first. Then we should probably question. I mean, talk to Princess here, and then we
All
can
right.
go
I-
find some cool things.
Very interested in the story of how Tristan became a princess.
Me too.
I don't think there's a story about that. It's just Tolman being Tolman.
You know what I mean.
Oh,
We
there's
can tell
definitely
you-
some things we have to discuss later. And I'm trying to make a specific motion to Andrew that I mean with him rather than with the rest of the party.
Sure. Yeah. Um,
There is
That's good.
definitely a lot to discuss.
Of
Probably
course.
not.
Right.
Also, I don't mean to like be a dick, except I do. Tollmend dude, whatever your name is, like
Yes.
you're kind of mean, and also people aren't very nice
Yes.
to you, and they're not going to be very nice
Yes.
to us by default. So like,
Hmm.
go look at
Maybe-
a tree or
maybe,
something.
Like, fuck off.
Mm.
by
Maybe
any
you should
chance.
wait at the inn. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck off.
Is that what the princess requires?
Where did you even find this dude?
Why
Yes,
does he
it is
listen
an
to
order
you?
from your knight.
You see him scowl, and he says, "Fair enough. I'll wait for you at the inn."
Good.
And you see, like, he turns around and kind of heads in the opposite direction that you're going right now. And everyone on the street is giving him like a super wide berth. Like, they don't even want to be within like 10 feet of this guy.
I don't blame them.
You also can give orders like a princess. That's nice.
Yeah, why the fuck did you
Like
adopt a
a
dwarf?
knight to his squire, you mean?
Did you pick that one? Like, why did you pick that one?
I didn't exactly pick him.
I feel
Was
kind of bad for him.
Don't feel bad for him. He's a dick.
Yeah, he really is a dick.
It probably feels like I feel when
I
I'm
like him.
at your guys' place.
But we're nice to you.
Yeah, and you're not a dick, Andrew.
Yeah, and you didn't start insulting us the moment we met.
Yeah.
I didn't?
No.
Oh, I must have
Didn't
just
he?
it might have been a bit less direct.
Well, you know,
Everyone
subtlety
will
is all it
settle
takes.
about it.
Exactly.
For sure did call everyone idiots once.
At least all man says what he thinks.
Well,
That
sometimes you
is-
shouldn't do that.
Equality he has, I suppose.
Yep. Yarrick is looking at Ren.
I mean, equality doesn't matter if you treat everybody like equal shit. Am I right?
I think Tristan meant quality, not equality.
Oh, okay.
That is
Equality.
true, but both would apply.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, you have to tell us why you adopted a old grumpy dwarf, Tristan. But can we get to the Zenith place already?
No objection from me on that.
Okay, yeah, let's do that first then and see if we can find any info
Okay.
on the Dragon Orbs.
Okay. So you guys kind of beeline straight for this place. And Indri, why don't you... Are you actually more comfortable giving directions here, or is that
yeah,
just a bluff? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you're able to find it pretty easily.
Entry just got super lost in the material plane because time works different.
Well, the sun moves.
The sun moves. Yeah, it's so lazy. Like, you know,
Do things in the city change location? Would Tristan be still like super lost in this place despite being here 3 weeks, or?
You would have a rough idea of it, and no, I don't think this particular location changes much.
Okay.
You know, there are places in the Feywild that do, and you would know that. But this particular place is not one of those maze-like.
Right.
uh,
Like obviously Andrew
ever-changing
knows the
locations.
city a lot better than Tristan does, but Tristan is not completely lost. Okay.
Yeah. And Tristan, I think even you would know this by now. You guys are kind of able to move through the city and up, kind of like the picture that we have right here. There is a section of town where there's this big waterfall, and there's a series of stairs that kind of wind the cliffside up of it. And you reach the top, and there, kind of nestled on the side of this cliff, is a large, like, almost pure white tower. And it's got like a larger base that it sits on, but this is the Zenith Court. And it is a place of knowledge and research, and just almost like the Feywild's version of Candlekeep. Probably not quite as far-reaching as the libraries at Candlekeep. Some of these places are much more focused in what they study and the types of knowledge that they gather. But you're able to make it to the gates, and it's not closed to you, but there is an elven attendant kind of watching there, and he stops you and looks at the group, sees all of you, sees particularly I and Indri, and just kind of looks over the group and says, "What? State your business at the Zenith Court, please."
We are the Menagerie of Might from the Material. We are here looking for information on Dragon Orbs.
You see his eyes kind of like eyebrow peek up. And did you say Dragon Orbs?
Yeah, from like the Great Dragon Wars or something like that.
Well, I don't know what
And-
information you'll
And
find.
Eberron, is he?
Eberron. You see him just kind of thinking over, and he says,
And also, any general information on dragons would be helpful.
"Oh, there's much to be learned about dragons. You might need to be more specific, but I have someone in mind who might be able to guide you through some of our research here.
Basically,
Let
like
me
how to kill them. Maybe how to raise them too. That would be nice.
Oh, yeah.
raise a dragon.
Yes, exactly.
Just
hypothetical.
hypothetically.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Are you so? Would you say that you're looking for information on how to train your dragon?
Yes. Exactly.
I think I have the DVD for you. No. So he's like, I actually do think that there's someone that I can allow you to speak with. If you'll give me a moment, I will call for him.
Thank you.
And it's a good thing you guys didn't bring Tolman. So you see him kind of disappear around the wall and speak to a different elf who runs off. And a few minutes later, you see another elf kind of walk up. And he has like long blonde hair, very like Lord of the Rings elf type. Kind of a cloak around him and really nice clothes, very well kept. And he bows to you when he walks up and he says, hello, my name is Kirill. Kirill Kriskin. And I am told you are looking for information on some rather interesting topics. If you will follow me, perhaps I can be of assistance.
Thanks, Hurl. Lead the way.
Kirill.
Kirill?
There you go.
Okay.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, is there something in particular that you are looking for? I was told that you're looking for Dragon Orbs. I'm afraid you'll find not much in the way of the information here, but perhaps theories on these items.
Any and all information about them would be very helpful. Also, information about different dragon types. That would be nice.
Different dragon types.
Yeah, because like we met a few dragons and they were different. So
Did
just
you?
in case we meet like other dragons, we would like to know what to protect ourselves against.
Oh, well, there are many, many dragon types. Of course, there are the chromatic dragons, which typically are quite aggressive to any and all people that cross their paths. These would be the red dragons, the blue dragons,
Oh yeah,
the...
red dragon has a bad temper, that's for sure.
Yes, red dragons in particular are quite vain and aggressive.
Rather fiery disposition.
Yes, as one might expect from the coloring on them, they do seem to embrace fire as their choice of weapon. Now, we do also have black dragons, we have white dragons, really many, many colors of dragons that all fall on the evil spectrum. They tend to serve the scaled tyrant Tiamat. These dragons are not to be trifled with. If you have encountered one and lived, then count yourself lucky. Now, on the other side of that, we do have the metallic variety of dragons, which come in various forms as well. These, historically, are a bit more rare than the chromatic types. They tend to fall on the... not always, but most of the time, good side of the... we'll call it the alignment spectrum, and they tend to worship the being known as Bahamut, although their kind are much, much fewer these days, and no one really knows quite why. Outside of that, there are a few other varieties, but also quite rare.
Has
Unlikely
Tristan
to
or
cross
anyone in
paths.
this party heard the name Bahamut before?
I don't
Or-
think so.
Or
Maybe
did we
for me
burn
dumping lore on you,
Candlekeep
but
Right, like did we burn Candlekeep before we got to find that out, or
I think
We
so.
didn't burn Candlekeep, okay? It was Ren's exes.
out of character I know what happened. Tristan doesn't.
It was not Ren's exes. It was completely random, unassociated library assassins.
Cultists, yes, I know.
No, I don't think any of you have, unless somebody has a particular reason in their backstory why they would have heard that name.
So I'm just going over my notes here. We found a book about the Pantheon of Dragons and Draconic creation story, which has a lot to do with Tiamat. I don't know if that would have mentioned Bahamut, but we do have that book.
Yeah. So I think. Do you have that book with you?
I don't know. I wasn't the one that found it.
Okay. I actually don't remember if you guys took it or not. Actually, I remember that was in
That might have
I
burned
think
in
session
Candlekeep.
2 or 3, right?
Yeah, so why?
I don't know. That was in the library. I'm
Oh, was
looking
it?
at the
Okay, I
notes
was
from
thinking
the
it was in
library
a-
session.
Okay.
I don't think we
I don't
took
think
any
we took it if it was in the
books.
library.
So
Sure.
we probably
don't
didn't finish
steal
reading it.
books from the library. We just
You just burn it down.
Lawful
Ah.
good. Okay, I love it.
But you guys
Okay.
burned the library?
nope. There was.
I'm not talking in character.
So, if I remember correctly, I was the one that was actually doing most of the reading
Yeah.
in Candlekeep. So you, if you read that book, would at least have seen the name Bahamut before.
Okay.
But if you were just skimming through the book, you would not know much about him.
Yeah, that's probably what happened because we were attacked.
Sure.
Do eyes gonna like kind of catch up to Kiral and be
Uh-huh.
like, do you happen to know of anybody who successfully raised a dragon?
Raised a dragon.
Yes.
Well, yes. There is a particular sect of wizards originating in the material plane who actually specialize in such a thing.
Would they happen to be the Red Wizards?
How did you know?
Oh, that's very tragic.
Yes.
Do you happen to
Well,
have like literature on raising a dragon, so we don't have to go to
on
them?
raising a dragon.
Yes.
Red
I see him
dragons,
kinda thinking.
perhaps, specifically.
Make a persuasion check. Because actually, he's all right. So he's going to ask you guys. That is a particularly dangerous hobby, we'll say. Is there a specific reason that you might be asking for that type of information?
Well, you see, it's possible that if we raise a dragon, it will be easier to combat other dragons.
I don't
This is
know how
only,
true that is.
This is only a theoretical experiment.
Make
we were
a
just...
deception check.
Ugh.
Can I make this deception check? And
Either one of you.
And get like, yeah.
Ooh. All right. So Ren, you rolled a 24. Did you roll that to GM for a
Yeah,
reason?
on accident.
Okay, so I rolled a 19. So Indri, with that insight check, you suspect I of treachery, but you do not see the same in Ren. So take that for what you will. Tristan, you don't pick up on shit. You're just like, yeah, they know nothing. So now I want you guys to make a persuasion check. Only one of you do it.
I will do it.
I have +6.
I
have
think I would
+5,
actually.
So go ahead.
I have
Not-
+10.
I would
you
prefer
not,
Ren or I to do it, since they are the ones that are.
Can I
I
help
don't
her
keep
at all,
whispering
or?
it. I don't need help. Why could I keep whispering it?
Yeah, she rolled a 20.
Oh shit!
So he stops for a second and kind of eyes you guys a little bit, and like he's not really sure why you're asking, but he will at least show you where this material is. And he takes you to a section of books, and he pulls out this really old tome, and in it is some information about particularly hatching different varieties of eggs. Very old book.
What about Eberron?
Eberron.
I is going to like extend her hands to take the book, if that's okay,
Yeah, you can certainly read through it.
and start reading through it, and like pull out a little notebook and like start writing down notes.
Yeah.
Friend's gonna whisper to I. Could you read it to me? I read kind of slowly.
Yeah, sure.
Um,
Just like in a corner somewhere.
Okay, so you guys move away, and you're reading over this book very suspiciously. Eberron. Well, Master Havling, the name does come up from time to time.
Really?
Although, yes. Are you familiar with what's known as the World Tree?
No.
No? Okay. Well,
Well, I think we've been on it, or was that it? I'm not sure.
so yes, it was. I don't know that you would necessarily know that it was in.
Well, it has like huge branches, and it went from a world to another world. So
Actually, yes, that's exactly what the world tree is. The world tree is the connection of all of the various planes of existence. Now, the place that you speak of is akin to our material plane. It is another realm of existence, or at least that is what is theorized. We do have some evidence to suggest that it is a different version of the material plane. But as of right now, there is really no known passageway to it. Tell me, Master Halfling, why do you ask of such a place?
well, I'm from there.
His jaw kind of drops, and he's like, "No, that can't be."
Well, I'm telling you.
I don't know how that's possible.
I don't know either. I mean, how can I be here? I can't find a way to go home, and been trying for a while, and I thought you'd know how.
No, I don't. How did you find yourself in the material plane?
I don't know.
You just woke up there one day?
It was like a huge sound, and then I woke up in the woods somewhere. Here. Well, not here, because here's a Feywild, but
Sure. Interesting. I'll
But,
need to talk to some others about this.
Those
at some point we had a compass, and I had some indication when I was on the tree.
Huh.
But couldn't go there.
No, I expect not. As I said, there's no known passage to this realm of existence that I know of, or that anyone that I know of knows of. For you to be here is exceedingly surprising. Are you sure that that's where you're from?
Yes.
Huh.
I mean, I grew up there.
There's like a look of disbelief in his eye, like he's being pranked almost.
I'm telling you.
Okay. So with that, you see it soften a little bit, and he says, "Well, I will do what research I can to help you. If you are from there, then it would be an exceedingly rare discovery to find a way to get there.
That would be great.
Now tell me, why are you all looking for information on dragons?"
Well,
Well, Mr. Kirol, we are, like I said to the doorman, we are the Menagerie of Might, and we are fighting against Tiamat and trying to stop her from coming to the other world.
Indeed, we seek the defeat of the Dragon Queen Tiamat.
That is a tall order. I've heard some rumblings of the fights that are happening across the plains. It has not quite reached our shores, but I expect it will at some point. And I know that there are those here that are preparing for such an event. And if I can be of assistance, I certainly shall.
Yeah, do you have,
Who-
like... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Who specifically have you heard is preparing for that fight?
Well, I particularly mean in our city. The city guard is, for one, mobilizing and arming to a degree that I have not seen in quite some time. Now, that could be related both to the rumors of Tiamat's forces, but it could also be related to the sudden aggression of the goblins and the
Fomorians.
the Fomorians, the goblins. They seem to have allied.
Honestly, that could be related.
Beyond guards and goblins, is there any news of where the different archfey might draw their alliance in this battle? Tristan seems to think for a moment whether to say it or not, but the Queen of Air and Darkness specifically.
See his eyes narrow as you mention that name. Not much is known about the Queen of Air and Darkness these days. She has more or less cut off all communication to her courts.
Tell me about it.
It's probably
So,
good.
Do you know her,
Yes.
Tristan? Who is that?
no, I do not know the Queen of Air and Darkness. I know that getting anywhere close to her is complicated.
That is an understatement. There are none alive besides Titania herself who know the Queen of Air and Darkness.
That's true. That's what I've heard too.
And why do you want to get near her?
I think we just want to make sure that she's not joining Tiamat.
Ideally, that she's opposing her.
Yeah, that'd be the best.
The Queen of Air and Darkness does not typically dedicate her forces to one side or another, but these are unusual times that we live in.
That's true.
Absolutely. A being from Eberron stands before me,
Supposedly.
supposedly.
Gives a wink.
Yeah, Rick is not smiling.
Now, I will be forthright with you. The knowledge that I have given you so far, except for possibly the information on raising a dragon, can be found in many places across all of existence. I suspect that you are here for something more detailed. Now, I have been honest with you. I would ask that you are also honest with me. Is there something in particular that I can be of assistance with?
I mean, we already mentioned the Dragon Orbs. I think that's the most
Oh, did you?
pressing
I'm sorry, I missed
issue.
that.
Oh, sorry. I think we mentioned it, right, in the beginning?
Yeah.
Or am I tripping?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I think you did to the. If you did to him, I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need like artifacts to get rid of Tiamat or something.
Artifacts.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
The
that's true.
dragons-
We see powerful artifacts in our fight against the Dragon Queen.
The dragon scholar Leosin had told us that there are a dragon orb here in the Fae that we hope to acquire before they do.
You say Leosin?
Right? That's his name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he spent quite some time here, actually. It's been many, many years, but he pored over all of our materials relating to dragons. He is probably the foremost scholar. If he thinks there's a dragon orb here, then he must have found evidence that I do not have. Now, one second. It is possible that there is one here somewhere. I do not have information on its whereabouts, but we have collected many objects over time in this particular court, and many of them are powerful artifacts. The Dragon Orbs, that is a legend. I am not convinced of their existence, but if the legends are to be believed, these are powerful orbs that are imbued with the spirits of dragons that have fallen. These are legends based out of ancient texts from the Dragonfall Wars, and I'm not sure they are to be believed, but if they are lost to time. If anyone in this realm knows of their existence, it is most likely the Miners of Dusk. But they are not particularly friendly to outsiders. I'm sure. I don't know. Go ahead.
The Miners of Dusk Warden?
Dusk Warden, yes. The Duergar. Very, very vile dwarves. They don't take particularly kind to any outsiders. They do have some relations with the goblins, some relations with the Fomorians, but they delve after artifacts such as that. If there's anyone in this realm that knows of their existence for sure, it would be them. But the location of their mines is a closely guarded secret. They do not share them with us, and I cannot tell you where to find them.
Probably somewhere in the Fey Dark.
Most likely. Now, they probably have some form of settlement that you can find in the mountains, but I don't even know which mountains to tell you to start in, and the Feywild is a large place to scour.
If only somebody here had recently met and befriended a dwarf who could help us.
He's just a
Well,
we
regular.
can.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
Tolman
like a
does
bunch of-
Not a
it's-
Duergar, but
Indri, I would like for you to make a history check at this point. Sorry, I keep asking you to make history checks,
Oh,
but
no, it's
it is his home turf.
Mhm. Okay. So with that, you were privy to enough things in Titania's court that you would know that she has really two sets of like spies. One is one of the beings that you concocted, kind of, on your list to me. Sorry, I lost the name. Snareshine.
Yeah.
Who, in particular, has tenuous allegiances to whoever she serves in the Feywild. Was at one point Titania's spy master. Now, you don't know if that's still the case, but that is one person that you could kind of track down to get information from if you were able to convince her. Now, the other source of information that you know of is a set of beings called the Court of Owls. Again, they're spies, so they serve whoever they serve at the moment. They're not tied to any particular thing. They follow the balance of power. And you would know that because, like I said, you were privy to enough of Titania's inner workings that you would probably know that she did not fully trust either set. Now, they might be privy to the information of where the Duergar are hiding. But you don't know for sure that either one does. But you might be able to draw the conclusion that either one of those leads might get you the information that you need to find the Duergar.
Okay.
Fair?
Yep. Andre will just kind of mention, he's like, I think I know where we might be able to get some info on these Duergar.
Oh, really? Nice.
Oh, fantastic. If we can find any of them, we can ask them about the location of their mines.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to think about it though.
Well, so.
Kirill hears you say this and says, I don't know who you intend to seek this information from, but I would advise you caution, no matter who it is. Not many people return from dealings with the Duergar, or the
Exactly.
goblins, or the Fomorians. They are all vile creatures. I'm sure you, Master Fairy, know of their reputation here in the Feywild. I strongly advise caution no matter who you deal with here. Not as many will be as kind as I have to you.
Yeah, you've been very, very helpful, Kirill. I appreciate it.
Tell me, will you please give Leosin my regards if you see him again? And might I ask where do you all call home?
Well, the material plane.
Is there somewhere specific that I might find you if I ever have more information to provide?
Right now
Caldel?
we're like traveling though.
Ah, but it can be our keep.
Our keep at the town of Keldal.
But also,
I will make note of that.
I think the easiest way to track us down right now is to talk to Leosin, because he is the one who will probably be in contact with.
Don't we
Noted.
give a sending stone to someone? Who
Yes,
has it?
to the Watcher.
I believe the Watcher has the
The
sending
Watcher
stone.
can contact. The Watcher can contact us easily.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Are you sure the Watcher of Helm would appreciate being contacted by the Feywild to contact us?
Probably.
Well, we
not.
did save her life and prevented
Leosin.
the
Yeah.
invasion. So
Leosin
yeah,
Leosin can
true.
send us messages though. He's sent us
I
like sending spells
don't think
before.
the Watcher would mind.
I think Leosin's also a little more of a fixed structure at this point.
Yeah.
It would be easier to find than the Watcher.
Sure.
Leosin might be one of our closest contacts.
Well, all I was going to say is that if I come across any information that might help you in your struggle against Tiamat, I will provide it for you as best I can. And now that I know that you have a keep in Keldel, which I will have to find on a map, I'm sure, I will provide it to you as quickly as I can.
That's
Would be
fantastic.
greatly appreciated.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. You do not stand alone in this fight. There are many who will come to your aid if you are leading the charge.
Ah. Sorry, cat got me.
Like
Thought
we're
that
just
was
very,
Andrew's
very
fear
yep.
of leading a charge.
It could be.
A little bit of both, yeah.
With that, he kind of bows and takes his leave, unless you guys have any other questions for him.
Nope.
Anybody? Okay.
I think we're
And-
Where's the best beer in the Feywild?
That is a highly debated topic. And you will have to excuse me. I will write down all those things and provide them for you as soon as the DM takes a bathroom break. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back, guys. Or do y'all want to just take a 5-minute break?
Yeah, let's do a break.
I'd appreciate that. Yeah. I
Yeah,
wanna
me
get
too.
some water.
I've been holding it for like 30 minutes.
And we're back.
Hello to all of our wonderful viewers.
Hi, viewers.
Which is 4
Just us.
people. Okay, so we picked up you guys relatively done at the Zenith Court for now. Where do you go?
Tristan had some stuff to tell us, didn't you, Tristan?
Right, of course.
Yeah, the
The whole
white
thing
poplar?
of you not being
The
dead.
white poplar.
Yeah, it is much preferable. But how about the information on the Duragar? Is there a time limit on that? A specific steps that we should be taking there? And
I don't
entry?
think they're going anywhere.
Probably not in a couple of hours, no.
And what I know shouldn't be said out loud where any ears could be heard or could overhear.
Then we better find a private place. Bear, do I know the white poplar to be like safe enough from prying ears, at least Tristan's room or whatever?
Yeah, I think so. You would know that it's like you've been there for a little bit. You would feel comfortable enough going there to discuss anything like this. Yes, it is
Alright.
private.
Let's head to the White Poplar Inn, and Tristan will lead the way there. Although Andrew might know the way just as well or better.
Follow Tristan though.
Fair enough. And Tristan leads.
As
If he at
we're
all can.
walking- Oh, yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, as we're traveling across to the inn, Andrew's gonna tell Tristan, it's like, while you've been gone, Karen's been helping me carry all my stuff, so I think you owe him a pretty big thanks for doing your job.
Well, wouldn't you owe him thanks? But I'd be happy to take my job back if you want it.
Karen's just gonna look at Tristan and is like, no, you owe me thanks.
And you've been here for like months, so you have interest on the depth you have.
Well, thank you for taking care of Andrew's things for 2 days, Corinne.
You're welcome. And Karen's just gonna give you a big hug.
I imagine it's both uncomfortably strong and not the cleanest hug ever, but
Getting in.
You'd be surprised. Karen's very gentle when he wants to be. So he's not very nice
Fair
smelling, but he isn't orc or half orc. So
fair enough. Tristan more or less makes a gesture of hugging Corinne back. Good to be on his good side.
Yeah, we're all glad you're back.
And I'm very glad to see you.
We're kind of back.
Kind
We're
of.
here, anyways. Well, I mean, we're not back because we're not where we were.
Oh,
We are where we are.
well, the land of the living after a fashion.
Right.
Right. Do we get to the inn?
Yeah, there's no problem getting there.
I don't know if you are all planning to stay the noon here, but if we just want to talk,
That's an
there must be
awfully
enough
long
space in the
time.
room. Well, it is any amount of time, really. Tristan would guide the group to his room if he can. Is there enough space to talk at least?
I would say it's probably a little cramped, and Tolmar is definitely there. So now there are 7 of you, kind of crammed into the room as you move up.
Is it a 1-bed setup or a 2-bed setup?
Too
bad. We'll say
that.
that.
I'm not stepping with a dwarf.
Or are you?
If it is a one bad setup, then he's sleeping on the carpet because
Can't have Princess's back all sore for all the fighting he supposedly does.
Well, he tries to hit things a lot. That's for sure.
Yeah, I've
Spare
seen him
Try
train.
being the keyword.
well,
I don't know if
ask-
that counts as fighting.
you can ask Prima Thanatos how well I can hit things.
Mm.
You can ask him how well you can fall into things.
Speaking of, is he like dead?
So is he there? What did I
what was-
see when I fell with Prima Thanatos to
I
hell?
am whispering it to you. You may decide however you want to
Okay.
relay whatever information I'm giving you.
Sorry, waiting for confirmation from God.
Tristan is on his knees praying to the
Tristan's eyes
the almighty Grandmaster Bear.
He's
Aye.
off in the distance. Little PTSD flashbacks.
This party needs some therapy.
More than you could possibly know.
Must confess I'm not entirely sure what happened to its body when we fell. I was more focused on the ground.
So what you're telling us is that you're not even sure if we killed him.
I'm not certain, but I would hope so. It sustained some serious wounds up there, and he fell more directly.
That's
At the time, Tristan could still fly, right? Fair.
Yeah, you still had your wings.
Yeah.
that's frustrating.
Well, we can hope that he's dead, but even if he isn't, he would not be the only thing to worry about. I did catch a glimpse of well, more than a glimpse of the armies of Tiamat down in the other place. And they are unfortunately vast. I don't think if we hadn't done what we did, I don't think Faroon would have lasted more than a couple days.
That sucks.
At least nothing in the Sword Coast army I know of in the material plane.
Well, it's a good thing we did what we did then.
Indeed it is. We saved the world. We're all heroes. He smiles to everybody in the room.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, unless the world falls in a few months or something, then we would be short-lived heroes.
Let's try to prevent that, yes. And to that effect, you said we might have a lead into this Durgar? Something that you couldn't share on the open street? He looks at Endry.
I don't think you told us how you got to here. Or
Yeah,
your-
stop
Yes,
trying to
yes,
change the subject.
Oh.
as
Of
Andrew
course,
changed the subject.
Well, you see, when I fell to hell, my wings were still working, so I was able to avoid the worst of the fall. However, of course, I fell into the middle of a grand battle. The probably the grandest there is in the multiverse. I don't know how familiar you are with the Blood War, the most devastating war raging in any of the planes, and I fought my way out, mostly through the sidelines of the main battle. I will not claim that I faced the forces of Tiamat head on, but as I was fighting, I heard a voice call to me, saying I still had a job to do, that I was still my services required in the material plane to better face against Tiamat, and this godly figure appeared in front of me and told me to fight on. And I don't know how much time it passed, but after that I woke up here. And give me 1 second. And I assume this is I'm trying to appear knightly and heroic, so armor helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Andrew, don't even roll, you know I'm full of shit.
Yeah, I believe you. You don't even have to roll unless you like roll a 1.
Red believes you too, only because that's basically how her goddess like talked to her. So she's like, "Oh yeah, no, that totally happens."
So I will say this about your insight rolls. That, to me at least, determines whether or not you pick up on any signs of deception more so than you definitely believe him.
Oh,
Yeah,
Just-
if
just for
you
character
already are expecting Tristan to be full of shit, like Andrew would, then you know it. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
I always expect him to be full of shit, so I
Right.
don't know.
but you don't know about what specifically.
Yeah,
So
okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll say like with that roll, even though it's so terrible, like you don't have to believe him with it, you know. So like
Okay.
you don't believe him, but you have like no proof
that
that he's deceiving you. Like nothing you picked up on was
Or like
like
which
just
parts
completely
could be
BS.
fabricated.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
and like a
Um,
20 implies that he's telling like this long tale of all his fights, and that they're fighting for weeks until the last moment he saw this golden figure and was saved. Like he's
So-
selling it.
At some point, I'm gonna start giving them advantage on detecting your bullshit, but
Because
but
they
but
know
today
that
is
Tristan
that
always lies, or
yeah.
Because we've seen
no,
you do it. Like, we've seen you lie your way through shit.
no, I'm
We
just
literally saw
joking,
you
but
like
I-
take
I
the
think-
prisoner away.
I think it's fair that everybody here, like, that wants to like think that Tristan's full of shit can think that Tristan's full of shit. There is just no holes in the story that you can like
Right.
prod and
Yeah.
like this
Exactly,
doesn't
yeah.
make sense.
yeah, no,
I was
I'm
like, it's
just
not
messing
that
with you.
bad of a story.
No, and I'm just kidding with you anyway. But yeah, so you guys all at least, it's a believable story, right? Not that any of you have ever been to hell and know the environment or anything like that, but you can kind of like, okay, maybe he's embellishing, but you know, there's nothing that I can see in that obviously sounds like a lie. I mean, he got out of there somehow. He's here with you. So, you know, he's got this weird little dwarf who's just like sitting in a corner, like watching you and like kind of just occasionally flinging insults at you randomly, like Peeves and Harry Potter or something like that.
I will weave into my story like a very heroic tale of how I rescued a tall man who was wrongly imprisoned in hell, and he is now my squire, and he's sworn his life to me.
I was gonna ask. Well, glad that you've made your way
I
to us again.
I
To
didn't
me.
even think I was gonna meet you, at least not in here. I imagine I had missed you already. But I suppose whoever brought me back knew what they were doing.
Think so. So, what I know regarding these Duergar is back in my service days, I'm aware of two different orders that served as like spy master under Titania. There's the one I probably honestly know least of is the Court of Owls. I don't know like who leads them or anything like that. They're almost like the mercenary people of the material plane. Like they'll go where the power and the money is and stuff.
That could prove unfortunate.
The other, I don't know directly. I never met them, but there's an archfey. Their name is Snareshine. They are quite the collector. Supposedly used to serve on the Zenith Court before defecting and coming to our side. They are a great spider and have their webs throughout the Feywild and are very connected. I'm sure either of these two forces would know exactly where we could encounter some Duergar.
And for this Archfey, do you know them well?
I never met them. My sister did once.
You have a sister?
Yes. I have a couple sisters.
Oh, you never told us about them. Where do they live?
Nobody asked.
That's very fair, to be honest. We didn't ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have sisters or brothers that we don't know about?
No brothers.
No siblings, no.
Not that I know
Uh,
of. At this point, I might have some. I don't know. I would be
Bunch
that
of
is-
people with only child syndrome? Okay.
That is true. I'm, none that are officially part of the Uriel family, and I don't know any bastards that my father might have had. But it is always possible.
Okay. TMI, Tristan.
See Current's typing in Discord.
Well, Andrew, what do you suggest then? Do we find this
I'm back,
archfey?
sorry.
You're good.
Current, all you kind of missed was Tristan telling his mostly true story of getting from hell to the Feywild. And then Andre shared the knowledge about the Court of Owls and an archfey named Snareshine. That's a spider that might know where the Duergar are. And now we're talking about family and
Whether or
Red?
not people have siblings.
Oh, okay. I heard you say
Separate.
Court of Owls. Is that right?
Yep.
Is that like in Batman?
No, not
Sorry,
quite.
that's the first thing I thought of when you said Court of Owls.
yeah,
I'm like, wait,
I-
the Batman New 52?
Not quite. Not
Is
quite
Jeffrey
so.
their boss?
What's that?
Is Jeffrey their boss?
The Owlbear, no. I don't. Well, maybe. I don't know.
No.
Headcanon, yes. Current, do you have any siblings?
No, none that I know of. I was really raised alone by my grandpa.
I'm the only one with siblings, huh?
I
That
don't have
we
brothers
know
or
of.
sisters, but I
Oh,
have
you
my
did?
mother and my father.
Well, those are not siblings.
Yeah, everybody has the parents, I assume.
I didn't.
What?
I mean,
I just had
At some-
grandpa. But it was
at
okay.
some
he was
point
great.
you had parents, right? Because you came from somewhere.
I think so. He didn't really tell me what happened so much. But yeah.
Do you never meet them? Don't remember them? Just your
No, I
Pops?
don't remember them. From what Grandpa said, it was something about the village. Like I know my mom died when I was born,
Ooh.
and he took me away, and we just sort of hung out and lived in the mountains for a while.
Yikes.
Yeah, sorry about that, buddy.
It's okay. I never knew them. I just had Grandpa. It was awesome. He taught me how to fight.
Grandpa seems like
You did a hell of a job.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew, about
So,
this sibling, did you say how many?
Huh? I have two like direct sisters, and then there's a lot in my generation. We were all born the same season.
Oh.
what season?
Well, spring.
Oh,
So they're not like related to you by blood?
No, it's different.
Huh, interesting.
Even the two direct sisters are not related by blood.
They're part of my clique.
Okay, is that how all Fae do things?
We're born in the Glen Alendra. We come from
Ooh,
flowers.
that's sure is a name.
Well, I think we got a little bit sidetracked here, learning about the Fae and the Bees.
Yeah, the Fae and the Bees. Yeah.
About this Archfey, do you know how we could find her?
No. They never like came to actual like court meetings. They always sent an emissary. They're somewhere in one of the deep wood.
Indri?
Yeah.
Would a
You
compass
do actually have one person who might know that you know of.
Oh yeah. Look.
And by the way, Tristan doesn't know about the compass, so I scratched my last line.
Sure.
I see you're talking about my sister.
Yeah.
My sister would probably for sure know where they are.
Allegedly.
Yeah, supposedly. She's supposedly met her once or twice.
Oh,
I don't
well,
know
that
if
is
they're
fantastic.
being honest or not, but
and is your sister in the city?
maybe
You have no way of knowing that.
they could be anywhere.
You don't even really know how long you've been gone.
Right. Do you know where your parents are right this minute?
I mean, yeah, they never fucking leave their village.
Oh.
I know
But
where
she
one of
leaves.
them is.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where she'd be right now, but
Okay, so does the Feywild have like a postal service? How do you guys keep in touch around here?
that's a Good question that I had never thought about personally. Probably. Sorry, I got the hiccups now.
Is that a question for me, or
Yes.
are you just asking if you have a way of finding your sister? Do you want to find your sister?
I have some ideas where she could be. I don't know if I want to go see them.
Does this have
Well-
something to do with the fact that you kind of ran away?
Yeah.
That's very fair, to be honest.
Yeah, no pressure. If you don't want to go see them, then we can, track down some other leads. What did you call those mercenaries? The owl knights? Feather knights?
Court of
Owl
Owls?
people? Yeah, Court of Owls, that's the one. So, I'm sure they seem notorious. We could ask around.
Ask around about the group of spies.
Yeah, that's like the easiest way to find spies. Just ask enough questions and they get pissed off. They kidnap you and they take you to their secret lair.
Easiest way to get them to find you, but
I don't know if that's something we want to try doing.
It's effective, I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm sure it's effective, it's just... doesn't sound like the smartest idea.
Oh, I mean, you guys have some options available for you.
Well, we should go to see that person that knows about the mines and just try it.
I'm sending you a response, Henry.
Oh, duh. Very duh.
Hold on.
Right, yeah. With a very obviously heavy sigh, Andrew's like, it's probably safer to go see my sisters. I'd hoped to return in a much grander fashion. But there's more important things, I guess.
Is there any particular concern about meeting your sister?
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
you
we
missed it, Tristan. Huh.
Hmm?
I abandoned my duties to the Archfey Titania when I came to the material plane.
I see, and your sister serves her still.
Yes. She's not the smartest around, so we could maybe convince her to give up the info.
Who's not the smartest friend? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Visa.
Oh, gotcha. Sure.
Well, it still probably makes the most sense that you talk to her, but if there's anything we
Maybe
can,
you guys can. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
if there's anything we can help you make her believe, then
You guys remember way back when in Greenest, when you captured some people and very politely asked them questions. Maybe we can do that.
To your
With
sister?
your sister?
Well, I mean, just keep her alive, I guess.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
What?
whoa, 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 whoa. Do you
That's-
not like your sister?
Well, she's just kind of mean. Just because she's bigger than me. Now she's extra bigger than me. Oh god. Oh no.
You know, I typically don't have many reservations, but at the same time, I don't think that's a good idea.
Probably.
I think we should go there with, like, the best intentions.
Yeah.
Don't know
You're-
about your sister, but I think pissing two Archfey in the process might not be
Yeah.
ideal.
Mhm.
We should do something.
Well, if you give me the compass, I could find her.
I think I is still the one who has the compass, so I'm gonna hand it over.
Can I also have the decanter?
The endless water one?
Mhm.
Oh, Ren? What do you need it for?
Ren will hand it over.
Nice. And you're just gonna kind of hold on to it.
What? What do
Uh,
you need it for?
I don't. I just want it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Magic water tastes better than regular water.
I guess.
It's. How about the water around this place? Is most of it regular or magical?
It's the regular magic kind.
Okay.
Okay.
Holding the compass in both hands, Endry's going to speak his sister's name aloud and think about her real hard.
Okay. So it actually points kind of towards like the entrance of the hotel or the inn that you're staying in. Hotel, like it's a modern place. Sorry. Yeah. So it just kind of points the direction just out the inn.
Okay then, should we head out?
While we are here, we should maybe get any supplies you guys might need.
Oh yes, beer.
I don't know if that's a supply we might need, but if
Why?
you want beer, we can get beer.
Some food maybe?
Yeah, that would be nice. Oh, we should probably get like some meats and stuff in case we meet more owlbears.
Eh?
Yeah, there is
More owlbears?
Yeah, there was a very nice owlbear while we were taking a nap. It
Yeah,
was
his
very
name was
cute.
Gerald.
You know what?
I'd
Not even
also
gonna
like
ask.
to maybe stop by that Pegasus shop, seemed interesting.
Sure.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all tell me. Where do you want to go?
Meats and Pegasus?
Yeah.
Meats and Pegasus. Like, are you looking for
Meat-
Pegasus meat?
No,
Oh,
like
no.
the Pegasus shop and then like just some meat for
Like
the road,
supplies.
like jerky and stuff.
Come get your Pegasus meat. All right.
That must be delicious. Does it take like horse or like chicken?
Different than both, actually. Okay, so you're going back to the magic shop, is that correct? All right.
Let's do the meat first, maybe. I
Okay.
assume we can just get that at, like the inn. It's probably
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, my dog is going crazy. Okay, so you managed to find just like a market where mostly what they have is fresh fish, kind of down towards the port, and you can see that's where a lot of the fishermen are coming in and selling their wares as they finish for the day. How much are you wanting to buy?
Just
Like what? You just any meat? Is that what you're looking for?
I was thinking like dried jerky for like a couple days.
Okay.
Something that
I'll
lasts.
Yeah, I will say that in this place you're able to find like rations like that. For we'll say like a gold, it's like for the party, we'll say like a gold per day of rations that you guys want.
We won't
It's not
be
expensive.
We won't be hungry. I can do good berries,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
I'd rather eat some meat or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so how much would that be?
For what?
For like
Sorry.
the party for like a couple days.
So I would say like 1 day's worth would be like a gold.
Okay, so
So
I'll
like seven servings, we'll say, or 6 servings. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll spend like 10 gold.
Okay. That's a lot of meat.
Well, we might find like a baby dragon. You never know.
You can never have too much.
Not again, okay? You only get 1 baby dragon per campaign.
Of each color, right?
Yes, of each color. I'll allow that. But it's got to be a different color. You can't collect... They're not Pokemon.
They're not?
Okay. They might as well be. Rule of cool. You all get dragons. And you get to ride them into battle. Mounted combat on dragons incoming.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay, so that's pretty easy. So now we're going to Pegasus, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's where Ren wanted to go next.
Let me pull up
Yeah.
my head. Okay, so you are able to go and you enter this little shop and you push the door open and a tiny little bell rings above the door. And another elf kind of peeks his head out around a corner and he says, "Oh, looks like I have some customers." And he says, "My name is Awen." And I will drop that in the chat.
Thank you.
You're all welcome. And he says, "Welcome to Pegasus. What may I do for you today?"
Hey,
What do you sell
Awen.
exactly?
What? What was the question?
What do you sell exactly?
Oh, many things. Many magical items, some potions, quite a few things. What is it that you seek?
Can we see your magical items?
Sure. Let me... Sorry, I had it. So he kind of walks you around the shop. Kind of points out a few things. He's got like a collection of various scrolls. There are a few. Let's see. Because these are most akin to stored spells. One can break these scrolls open and conjure the spell contained within. There are several that I have. Some of them are quite pricey, if that is the kind of thing that you're after. I do have, of course, some items for defense. I have some items for offense, if you will. Many things. If there's something specific that you have in mind, I would be more than happy to see if I have something that would fit.
What are your items?
What would-
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
What are your items for defense?
Yes, of course. Well, let me pull up what I've got here. That is not what I needed. He shows you a set of bracers. He says these actually increase your ability to withstand damage and fend off any attacks that you might be targeted with. What you are looking at, actually give me an Arcana check. Let me see if you can recognize these.
I'll try an Arcana check too, if
Sure.
that's okay with you.
Yikes.
So what you guys see are just like these intricately carved, or I'm sorry, scrolled like leather bracers. Well, there's no sense in me hiding this. So what you're looking at are bracers of defense.
Mhm. What
And
do
let
they
me
do?
see. I'm trying to find possibly.
Oh,
Ooh. How much everybody in the Discord just drop me how much gold you have. Let me see if
Privately or like publicly?
that's up to you. If you want it to be private. Entry.
I don't know if braces for defense are going to help anybody in this party. Cause
Yeah, I actually just
aside
thought of that,
from-
but
aside from Curran, maybe.
Entry could wear them.
yep.
Does Andrew not wear armor?
No.
Nope.
Oh. Yeah, so they will actually help.
So those
I'm not worried about it.
those are relatively expensive. Normally about 1,500 gold. So I don't know that that's really in any of your wheelhouse. But he does have them, and they
1,500?
haven't.
Yeah. 1,500 it is, but it's not really useful to us, I don't think.
Right to you. There's really only a couple of y'all that could even use them. Let me see here.
So, the type of item I specifically am looking for.
Sure.
I just, I get my magic from like a goddess, and she's a peach. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes she can be like a real bitch about how much I can cast every day, and it's really annoying. So, like, do you have anything that would let me maybe like store spells or just gain back some of that stuff?
Would be nice.
Yes. Let me see. I'm looking for a specific item that I don't remember. Okay, here it is. Yeah. Basic rules, page 184. Oh, that's not Player's Handbook. Yes, I do actually have something that might be of use for you. It is a single use per day kind of item. Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, I'll stop. Don't you tell me. Sorry, my dog is tearing up her bed.
That's how it be.
Mood.
Yeah.
She just likes to rip up her beds. I don't know why I keep buying them for her. So let me
She can
find that.
rip 'em up.
Pretty much, it's her to-do. Now, it is an exceedingly rare item that you seek. So it would again be close to 1,000 gold, but it would allow you to regain some of your spent. We'll call it exertion. And he guides you over to a shelf where he has 2 small pearls sitting. Again, this is going to be pretty expensive, but it is what was known as a pearl of power. Basically, all right, I'll read the description for you. While this pearl is on your person, you can use an action to speak its command word and regain 1 expended spell slot. If the expended slot was of 4th level or higher, the new slot is 3rd level. Once you use the pearl, it cannot be used again until the next day. Actually, it says next dawn, so kind of I'd have to look at how that relates to Feywild.
Just walk to the line and keep stepping back and forth.
I guess you could.
How much did you say this would go for?
Okay. I will say 1,000 gold.
Ren's gonna look over an eye and ask, well, what do you think?
It's just one spell, but one spell can be really like the change of things
Yeah.
in reality.
There are 2 of these on the shelf there,
There
you said?
are 2 of them, correct?
Alright, I like what I'm seeing, but, I'd like to browse a little bit first. Yeah,
Of course,
that's
of course.
exactly what I'm thinking. So, like, what else you got? Come on, sell me some
Okay.
stuff here.
Okay,
Got this gold
well,
burning a hole in my pocket.
I tell you what, let's take a look very quickly at the offensive-minded selections that I have. He walks you over, and he's got just kind of some basic, swords and stuff. Nothing that really catches your eye. But your eyes fall on a crossbow that is sitting on the shelf. And it has, instead of like just basic carved, kind of the wings, I don't know what they're called, the wings of the crossbow. These are carved into like really intricate, almost they look like dragon wings. It says this is more or less a normal crossbow, but you can speak a command word to it of the various types of damage that you might find from any dragon. And upon that, it will imbue the next shot, or the shots that you're using currently, with that particular type of damage. And so what this is called is a Dragon Wing Light Crossbow. And basically what it's going to do is anytime you hit, whatever type of damage you have called out in that battle, it will imbue it with that particular type of damage, and you get an extra d6 damage of that type. So the available types are Acid, Cold, Fire, Force, Lightning, Necrotic, Poison, Psychic, Radiant, or Thunder. The other interesting thing about this particular crossbow is that it does not require you to continue to purchase ammunition. It conjures its own ammunition as soon as you pull back the crossbow string.
How much is that?
Ooh.
This is 1,500 gold.
That's actually pretty good, though. If you
Yeah.
find the vulnerability, they will double the damage.
That's true. And crossbows are kind of your thing, huh? It's a good deal for you.
Do you have anything that gives more damage to spell ranged attacks?
Anything that empowers spell casting.
Yes, specifically ranged. Either make them hone in easier or hit for more.
Really, let me.
I don't know if that's a real thing, to be honest.
I don't either. Let me do some very quick googling.
Well, there's the staff of the warlock.
Pact Keeper.
Yep.
Rod of the Pact Keeper is the first thing that comes up. Robe of the Arch Magi comes up. Wand of the War Mage. Let me look this side. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. So I will say that he does have this rod, basically, and it's the Rod of the Pact Keeper. So it's uncommon +1 item. And while holding this rod, you gain a bonus to spell attacks and to the saving throw DCs of your warlock spells. This bonus is determined by the rod's rarity, so in this case it would be +1. Also, in addition, you can regain 1 warlock spell slot as an action while holding the rod. You cannot use this property again until you finish a long rest.
Ooh.
Let me look up cost of it. I'm adjusting this stuff a little. So,
It's probably like extortion.
Oh no.
Is it like extortionist costs?
Yeah, this one is
Yeah, I figured it would be very.
Well, so it looks like actually on Google there's a little bit of discussion about this.
Yeah.
So some sources put it at 12,000 gold, but that seems dumb since it's an uncommon item. So I would say this is probably 1,500 gold as well.
Okay. So I don't mind if any of you need extra gold to purchase anything, so I will hold off on purchasing something so expensive myself. However, Sir Awen,
A1,
what's your weirdest item here?
Weirdest item.
Like maybe
Oh.
one that's been like sitting here for forever and you don't know what to do with it.
Let me look real quick. I have a couple things saved for since you
This-
asked this last time.
The specific question.
Yeah, hold on. It's in my Reddit. Let me dig.
Yeah, so currently we're thinking between like the crossbow seems pretty good for even like Ren. You
It
use
does look
crossbow,
really
right?
cool. Yeah. Ren's kind of has very wide eyes staring at it. It's like if this were an anime, there would be sparkles in her eyes.
At what? At which item? Sorry.
The crossbow.
The crossbow.
Oh.
And I think it would be useful for you specifically.
Yeah, but like that staff eye for you, I don't know. It seems like a steal. I'm not gonna lie. I think you probably, realistically get a lot more use out of it. And the crossbow does have the dragon wings and they're really cool, but
Yeah,
like I can
I-
always just stick wings onto my current crossbow.
like,
It'll be just
also-
as good.
I don't have the 1500. That's why I'm saying that like we'll have to decide which one we want because then I can pull my money for you to buy it.
Where did it go?
Above
Things.
table, like it's obviously the staff, right?
I honestly
Yeah.
don't know actually.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a lot better for you. Like I'm not
Oh,
a rogue.
yeah.
The crossbow isn't that good for me. It would
Okay.
just
Leave
be
it a
like for the
discussion.
fashion points. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get the crossbow on the way back or something.
Saved things for this question and I cannot find them. My Reddit is not organized even a little bit.
It's fine.
And I'll lend you the money you're missing, guy, and then just
Alright.
like we don't even have to do the money lending in character if you don't want to. Just
I'll put
next
it-
time we get paid,
I'll
just,
put a note
give it back.
somewhere of how
Okay.
much I needed extra.
Maybe this is
interest is for
We-
Tristan only.
We all owe Ren money at this point.
I know, right?
This is
Well, to
just
be
an
fair-
extortion game played
Oh,
by
no.
Ren. She's
This
just
is
a banker.
This has
Yeah.
turned into Monopoly, and I'm the fucking banker.
Also,
No,
I need like
um,
600 gold for.
That's fine. I'm not using my gold for anything.
Okay.
But also, like, just so we're clear, Tristan owes money to like the group fund, not to Ren specifically.
Right, but in character he owes the money to Ren.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
it
fair.
will end up in the group fund, but
So let me know exactly how much you need. Is it 600 like
I
round
need
or
610 gold.
okay? Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
also
here's
he
one that I
owes money
saved.
to I separately from the group fund.
You guys are going to be the poorest heroes of the world ever.
It's fine, they will pay us
Um,
eventually.
Okay.
Well,
So he's like the strangest magical item I have. And he walks over and it's kind of on a shelf like way below where the Pearl of Powers were. Pearls of Power. And it's a little box. And he opens it up and there is a tiny little pebble in it with a tiny little face like carved into it. He says, "This is a sentient rock,
What does it
and I
do?
cannot seem to get rid of it. It's covered in dirt, and
Is it like a bedrock?
sort of. So it is a magical object. It basically rolls around the ground sometimes, and it can sort of change its shape. It's basically a pet rock. Tristan, you just sent me something from the Griffin's saddlebag, and it's one of his. It's called the Ball of Wild Earth.
Yep, I know it.
Yep. So, and it says it rolls about on its own in search of new and unique sources of dirt. When it finds a patch of particularly rich soil, the ball rolls around in it to incorporate the dirt into its form. The ball carries captured moisture inside itself, allowing it to make its form either dusty or clay-like in texture, as well as hard or soft to the touch. A friendly ball of wild earth can magically reshape the dirt it's covered in to form a variety of shapes at will, such as a tiny figurine or a large die, provided that the dirt continues to cover the pebble at its center by doing so. Has a speed of 10 feet. It's a magical object, not a creature, and it can only move by rolling around the ground. AC of 10, 15 hit points, and has resistance to all damage. Regains all of its hit points if it's left buried underground for at least 1 hour.
I don't know why, but I love it. Sir, how much is for that rock?
At this point, I just want to get rid of this thing. It's kind of annoying. It makes a lot of noise.
Can we like get the rock and that rod then?
I will tell you what. I will do that for you. If you buy the rod, you can certainly have this stupid little ball of wild earth.
Are you okay with that, Ren?
Yeah, no, pet rock seems like a great investment.
Okay, we'll take the rock and
Okay.
the rock.
What,
So-
does it have a name?
Yeah, it's
I am willing to allow you to name it.
What do you think, Kai?
I don't know. I need to think about this.
You know, Indri has named every other animal or random thing that you guys have collected. I'm sure he'll come up with something.
Yeah, I'm sure Andrew might like this one.
That's true. It is about his size. They could be friends.
Indri, how do you feel about pet rocks?
Andrew's not there.
Oh, he's not? Sorry, I
Andrew's
missed that.
not there,
He's
Andrew
hanging back with
is
Tristan.
hanging back with Tristan, so
Oh,
Andrew
sorry,
doesn't
I
know.
missed
It's
that.
gonna be like a little gift for Andrew.
Yes, maybe for his birthday. When is his birthday again?
I don't know. In spring sometime.
Yeah.
Whatever
That's
that means
weird.
in the Feywild.
But wait, if his birthday's in spring and he lives in spring, is it just his birthday every day?
Maybe.
Whoa, he's like super fucking old.
Probably, actually.
That's really weird. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, we take the
bye.
staff and we take the rock.
Ren's gonna hang back and say like, look, I will be back, and I really want that fucking crossbow. So don't sell it to anybody, or I will bite you and I won't let go. Have a nice day.
What? What? And then you just leave, and he's like, what the just happened?
What is the name of the staff again?
The Rod of the Pact Keeper. And it's a +1 item.
Oh, I see why they were different prices, because there is multiple.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Add to equipment.
Well, even a +1/1 is a pretty good item.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 1500 for it is probably a steal, but
Yep.
as was pointed out earlier by one of your party members, I have been a little stingy with loot, so not on purpose. Just I sometimes
hasn't
forget
been
to.
a chance to
Yeah.
stuff.
To quote
Uh,
Biggie, give me the loot.
I was wondering if you had like mitral armor or magic shield or cloak of protection.
Yes. Let me look up this shield. Give me 1 second. This is it. This is kind of a cool homebrew thing. So we'll have to write it into Okay. So he shows you this shield that is again, much like everything that I described to you guys, that is a cool item. Inscribed with a lot of like these reliefs of various monsters, creatures that maybe someone has faced with the shield. He says this particular shield will grant you extra defense against any creature that you have previously encountered. And what this is called is a Shield of Heroic Memories. And this is something
Awesome.
it's from the Adventure Zone, if you guys have listened to that at all. Basically, the way it works is any type of enemy that you have encountered already, it grants you +1 to AC. Additional on top of like a normal shield. So I guess that'd be +3 AC, like over a regular +2. Isn't it +2 on shields?
What does encountered before mean?
Yeah, like, is it
So
like
any-
a creature that you encountered before, specifically that creature, or does it, like, if we encountered wolves, it gives +1 against all wolves?
Correct, the second one.
Okay.
Now, I would say that for me, as we use like particularly powerful creatures moving forward, it would have to be the exact same creature type. So, like, if you have fought white dragons before and you are now fighting a blue dragon, it's a slightly different kind of creature. Does that seem fair? Like,
Right, I would even say like that's
They're-
not the
Yeah.
same to fight a young white
Right.
dragon than yeah.
right. So, like a wolf to a dire wolf is a different creature. Similar but not the same. So, like any creature that you have fought already, you get this extra boost to AC. Otherwise, it is just a normal shield. But so here's the cool thing about the shield. The bearer of the shield may also attempt to recount past battles, real or imagined, to the shield. So you have to pass a charisma check, which would be fine for Yarick, of a DC 15 bluff check. Or deception, I guess.
Deception in this system.
Yep. So the shield would confer the +1 AC against the creatures described in the Tall Tales if you succeed. 3 failed attempts at recounting stories causes the shield to be cleared of all its memories. The engravings disappear as it reverts to a mirror finish. All bonuses are lost. So then you would have to start over if you failed, which I imagine. What's your plus to charisma?
It's
Like,
+10. To,
Yeah.
like, his
Ca-
deception.
Just, I mean, depends. The saving
First-
throw or
your deception.
Deception.
ability. Yeah.
deception is just 5. Charisma is 7 though. Saving throw.
So
Wait, no,
so this
deception should be higher than your charisma, Yarick.
Yeah. No, his
I mean, my
saving throw.
charisma saving throw is 7. My
it would be your
charis-
save. It would be a deception.
If I do a charisma roll, it's just +4.
Yeah.
How about performance?
I
Performance
would
is
say
really good.
in this particular situation, it would be deception if you're lying about this. But so for that, it would be 1,200 gold.
So charisma is just +4 for me. Is that right?
You tell me. I don't have your
What
stat.
is
No,
your
he said
sheet.
deception, so whatever you have for deception.
So that would be +5.
Well,
Yeah.
you don't have to
I-
roll it now, but
No, but I mean, it's either deception or charisma. But
it
charisma
would
is
be
just a
deception.
pure. But I can do charisma instead of deception. It's better for me.
Well, you can also become
Don't-
proficient in deception the next level time you level up.
Because charisma is just a DC 10. It's way
So
easier.
so if you're gonna lie to the shield, it would be deception. I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think you can just sub out a
Yeah.
skill for your flat roll.
Yeah.
My understanding that's not how it works, right?
No, but it's how it's written. I mean, it's either
What?
deception or charisma, which is either an ability
yeah.
or a skill.
Right. So that would be if it was real. So the way I'm reading it is the bearer of the shield may also attempt to recount past battles, real or imagined, and then it relates to DC 10 charisma or DC 15 bluff.
So I could use DC 10 charisma, but that's just
If-
a pure ability check.
If you're not lying.
No, if
Yeah,
you're,
if I'm
if
not
you're
lying.
not lying. Yeah.
All right.
If you're
If you're
lying, I
tell-
think it has to be deception.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
basically,
okay,
what
okay.
it's saying here is if you want to add creatures to it, you have to basically give it a story,
All right.
and it can be real or fake, but it's different DCs.
It doesn't know that you fought a werewolf. It doesn't know you
Right.
fought a blue dragon, and etc.
All right. It's fine.
I mean, it's Yarick. He just needs to guide himself and tell it that he already fought the Amat.
you're not gonna. Pretty much, yeah. You're not gonna roll 3 times bad on any charisma skills.
I try to haggle it a bit still.
Wait, we do have some of those small dragon teeth. They're party loot, so they're fair game, I
Yeah.
think. You can offer some of those up.
You can try.
So I'll try to persuade him to trade a little bit of our loot to lower its price.
Sure. You can give it a shot if you want.
Oh God.
So what are you offering? The teeth?
It's 15. It's not too bad.
So what are you offering?
What do you?
We have
What can we
10
spare, like-
small dragon teeth, and I would
Yeah.
just suggest keeping at least one for, like, I don't know. You never know when you might need a tooth, right?
I mean, would you like dragon teeth?
I'm afraid I don't have much use personally for them. I guess I could probably resell them to an alchemist around here. But I could maybe knock off 50 gold for a few of those teeth. They're not of much use to me, unfortunately.
Suppose we should keep them if it's just 50 gold for all the teeth. I'll just take the shield.
Okay. So 1,200 gold.
Yep.
Plus sales tax.
Oh no, is there sales tax in Faerun?
And the Feywild, yeah, it's 10%. No.
Oh no.
It's really high there. Most people don't move there because of it.
I knew they were leftists.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Anybody else want anything in particular besides the crossbow that you didn't buy?
I'll be back for you.
I'm sure we'll save the Feywild and then we'll come back and he will give it to us for free.
Yeah, let's get to saving them.
So where are we heading now?
I think we're done, but Tristan and Andrew had a
Yeah.
scene they wanted to
If
Oh,
do.
that's
they
fine.
are done shopping, Tristan and Andrew stayed back.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you guys go ahead and have your conversation. I'm going to step away from my computer for just like 30 seconds, but I'm listening.
Sounds good. So, I imagine you know there wasn't any glowing golden figure.
I assumed.
Right. Most of what I said was real enough, but the direction I had to retreat was downwards, further into hell. And that's where I was helped by that which I served to depart hell and continue the fight against Tiamat. That much is real as well, and it is a fight. I don't know how familiar you are with the Blood War.
Only that I've heard of it. I don't really know anything
It's
about
the
it particularly.
It's the eternal fight between the hordes of the abyss and the legions of hell, and it has been raging since time immemorial.
Yeah.
And with no side ever gaining or losing significant ground. And now apparently Tiamat has not only entered the fray, but she has all but succeeding at taking over Avernus. I can scarcely describe what a scale of horror that means. It's been enough that the 9 layers, the 8 layers perhaps, have joined in a stronger alliance. they usually are known for. And they are seeking allies outside the Nine Hells. So, with all that information, I need to ask you everything you know about the Queen of Air and Darkness.
What I know of the Queen of Air and Darkness is, she is probably Titania's. She has no physical form, supposedly, anymore, having ascended past that, apparently. She is the queen of the Unseelie Court.
I know that much, and I also know there is no wish to reach her, which is strange since I've been tasked to deliver a letter to her if possible. And Tristan pulls a black envelope with a seal in it, with a pair of chains going through the blood-rich seal in it.
Do you know what it says? I don't want to bring
No,
this here.
and I do not think we would wish to. I know something. I know it's seeking a response on a query. I know that it is a positive response. This doesn't leave the two of us.
Andre looks around, making sure no one's listening, and nods conspiratorially. He's like, yes, just between us, of course.
Okay, just between us. At least for now, just between us. My lord believes the Queen of Air and Darkness has an artifact in her possession that is of interest to the Nine Hells fight against Tiamat. And an affirmative response to this letter should include the artifact, or a concrete promise of delivering under some set of conditions, spoken or written. If I am able to procure such response, then that is my mission. If I am not, I am to find a way or devise an opportunity to retrieve the artifact regardless. I do not know if this artifact is one of the orbs. I don't think it is, but I'm not certain.
And this is the voice that you spoke to in the woods back at the
Yes. And if I could reach her by my own means, I wouldn't be sharing this information, but you are the only person that already most or less knows the secret and knows enough about this place to help me reach the Queen of Air and Darkness.
Well, she... I've never met her. She's kind of like the #1 enemy of my mother, and I think I would rather help you not come to an agreement with her, but to just take it.
That would serve my master just fine. If you know how to do that, I do believe she's incredibly powerful, though.
For something this big, we're gonna have to go see my family.
We're gonna have to what? Sorry? Didn't hear the last thing, Andre, sorry.
For something this big, we're gonna definitely have to go get help from my family.
Well, that was already the plan. If
I am gonna ask for something in turn.
what would that be?
At least to my family, you have to be my loyal vassal.
I am willing to pretend to be that for the time being. But to be and to pretend are two different things, especially in this place.
Yeah, I don't think pretending's gonna be good enough. Not here.
That is unfortunate, because my loyalty is not mine to give.
I mean, it can be both.
No, I cannot. But what
Well-
would that entail exactly?
Oh, it would just be like, I mean, I'm not gonna ask of anything like degrading or anything like that. Just that you'd be my loyal protector and bodyguard kind of thing. Just keeping me alive, mostly. Fighting who I say to fight.
Those are two very different things.
Well,
Protecting your
usually-
life and fighting anything that you say I should fight.
We'll say that the agreement is, only if my life's in danger, kind of fight.
Sure, while we remain in the Feywild, we'll fight to protect your life.
Well, yeah. While
Will
while
that
we're
be
in-
enough?
That's perfect. That works. That can
As
be-
long as it doesn't conflict with any direct orders from my Lord and Master. Tristan extends a hand.
Entry grabs your finger. And with that, we have a pact.
Tristan smiles and Andrew, does that work if I already sold my soul?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't see why not.
Uh-huh, fair. I said as long as it doesn't conflict with anything that my Lord and Master asked of me, so
Mhm.
I assume as long as there is priorities there.
And Andre kind of gives you the same sort of shit-eating grin as when he found you in the woods sacrificing that person. It's like, we should meet up with the rest of our friends. Well, we have.
By the way,
now.
Tristan would have made sure that this is in exchange for helping retrieve the artifact, though.
Right. Yeah. No. Exactly. Yep.
Sounds good. And we shall meet them. We are not here.
We enter the Pegasus place.
Where have you guys been?
We're just outside.
Guys, look at this really cool crossbow. It has wings on it.
That's very cool indeed.
Do you guys want to buy anything?
Are you getting it?
Maybe next time.
I could
Yeah.
maybe help you get it if you need some money.
Uh,
Entry pulls out
Got it.
his coin.
got 1,000 gold.
I got this one.
Yeah, okay. I appreciate the gesture, but it's not gonna cut it.
Oh,
It's a
sorry.
little bit insulting.
That's all I got.
That's okay. That's fine. Anyway,
Um,
Tristan, feel like paying back for that debt?
Well, I don't have any gold on me, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Do you still
I-
haven't gained any gold and you were here for what, 2 months?
Yeah, what the hell did you do with your time?
Search for For you guys, of course.
You suck at it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm done. Should we head out? Anybody else want anything?
Nope. I think I'm set.
I imagine prepare does Tristan know if his foreign currency is worth anything here? I assume not, but
No.
yeah.
I don't think it would be any use.
I think it
to
would be
anybody here.
offensive too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. Anything else, anybody?
So, where are we headed?
Home.
Are you going home, or are you going to try to find? Sorry.
His
That's it.
Where did I
family,
move my? Let me find my notes. Move them.
his sister.
Yep.
Yeah. To summer court or home.
Sorry. Home or sister? I missed that. I was looking for my notes.
In this particular instance, Entry's referring to them both as the same thing.
Okay. So. Okay. So, what do you speak to the compass?
What's the name of Titania's palace?
I have just been working it under the summer court
Okay, then yeah, just the summer court.
because it kind of that is mobile. It kind of goes where she wants, more or less. I would say.
Yeah. Her domain. Yeah.
Okay.
Easy.
Now I will give you this, Indri. That is in a different direction than the direction that your sister was in earlier.
Ooh. That's worth noting. How different? Like opposite direction?
I don't know that they're necessarily direct opposites, but different. We'll say probably like 90 degrees.
Okay. I'll kind of share that. Like, it's my sister's not at home, but that's probably still where we should go.
All right, lead the
Home or
way.
to your sister?
I'm sorry.
To home or to your sister?
To home.
Wait, why not your sister?
Because more important things have come up, and I think that
Right.
Titania will be able to help us. I wanted to go to my sister as like a way to like avoid the whole thing, but I don't think that's really practical.
All right, you know best.
Thanks.
Indri, give me a perception check as you guys are leaving the Pegasus and moving towards the summer court. Actually, what's just your like base perception?
10.
10? Okay.
Nah, I'll roll it. I was thinking about using Tides of Chaos, but
Wild magic surge in the middle of the city. And he's burned down another city.
Oh no.
I thought I had that as a thing, but I guess not.
Okay. So, what I'm going to give you with that is you notice a very fast moving object out of the corner of your eye right before it yells Zizenfrix and tackles you.
Oh.
And the rest of the group is just like blindsided by this as well. But this person was specifically aiming for you.
If Tristan can, he will try to move to block with the shield.
What does this person look like?
a lot like Indri, but about a foot taller right now.
If Tristan can, he will move up to block with the shield.
Okay.
Is this who I think it is?
Depends.
Is it a sister?
Probably,
Yes.
but I'm tasked with protecting you.
Yep. All right. I'll tell you what. Why don't you give me a dexterity save, Tristan? If you actually give me a perception check first.
Okay, fair enough. Give me one moment.
Okay.
Probably
So
not
same
see
thing.
them.
You don't actually see it soon enough to get your shield into place. You see it and you move to block it, but Indri's already been like. Indri, were you sitting on someone's shoulder or
I was
just
hovering.
floating?
Yeah,
Okay.
just floating.
Yep. So both of you notice it about the same time, and this blur just like runs out, tackles you to the ground, and gives you an aggressive hug. And I want you to tell me, because I don't know that I necessarily gathered it from what you gave me. How is your relationship with Visa?
She's a bit of a bully.
She is, but like a loving bully?
A little bit, I guess, yeah. Like, we're, we're siblings. We're all part of the same clique. But yeah, she would be. I pictured her as mean, but the family loyalty, she's definitely more loyal to our other sister.
Sure. Okay. So she tackles you, gives you a hug, and then kind of like punches you in the arm. She's like, "Where have you been?"
Visa, I don't know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Where have you been? You have been gone for months.
Andrew rubs his mustache. You obviously have me mistaken with somebody else.
She reaches out and rips the mustache off of your face, and she says, "You can't hide from your sister. Answer the question."
I was on the mortal plane.
You see her jaw just drop a little bit. She's like, "Zizenfrix, you know that that is not a good place for us. What in the nine hells were you doing there?"
Whatever I wanted.
I assure you he was perfectly safe.
Also, what the fuck says Zenith?
How did you call him?
Zizenfrix?
Zenith.
That's your name, Andre?
Indri?
Wait, is that like a last name, a middle name, a first name?
It's my real name. My first name.
Where did Indri come from?
Why'd you not? I mean, I understand.
Yes, where did Indri come from?
I thought.
How real are we talking about?
I need a beer watching this.
I met this farmer once, and his name was Andri, and I convinced him to climb a mountain, and he never came back, so I took his name.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
It was funny.
Indri, I hope you know how much trouble you've caused. I'm normally the troublemaker around here, and you have done way worse than I have. Pretty much ever.
Did you get in trouble?
Yes.
You probably deserved it.
I did not. Not for your mess ups.
I'm sorry, Visa. Just don't hit me again.
Well, we'll see about that. But you got not only me in trouble, but Ileona as well.
Oh, is she mad?
Understatement, but yes.
What are you doing here?
I kind of got word that you might be back.
Who told you that?
It's not important. I just happened to know that you might be back, and I rushed here as soon as I heard.
Well, I guess obviously you've heard right. I have returned. These are my friends and my protector. points towards Tristan.
Sir
First
Tristan
points to
Uriel at your
everybody.
service.
She kind of eyes you up and down.
Or his.
Gaudy looking guy, isn't he? Kind of looks like a fairy princess.
He is.
Oh. Around here, would that be an insult or... never mind.
No, it means you look like royalty.
Yeah,
Of course.
sure it does.
Straight face.
I don't need to
Anyway.
incite Andrew because she is being very obvious.
Anyway, Indri, are you coming back?
To the court? To Mom?
Where else would I be?
Tanya? We were just headed there.
Really?
Maybe we were gonna, take a nap and get some food and stuff, but yes. We just finished our shopping. We got
Indri,
travel supplies. Meat.
Yes, because it's a very, very long way to the summer courts.
Have you had bacon before, Visa?
No, I've never even heard of bacon. I don't know what bacon is, but where did you go and why are you back?
Like I said, I went to Faerun, as they call it, or the Sword Coast.
Sounds awful.
It kind of was. The sun is so lazy there, and I got lost. I didn't know where I was anymore, and I didn't know how to get back. But obviously, I am very smart and clever, and have made my way back.
Well, I don't know about smart and clever, but you're here now.
Going to kind of hover and try and stay behind Tristan's shoulder.
Okay.
Tristan will step forward and play things.
How far is it? Where is the court these days? It's not here, is it?
That's not
in the city.
far. No, it's not in the city. Titania wanted to go swimming on the coast, so it's on the far side of the island.
What's it been like while I've been gone?
You see her, sadness kind of come over her face a little bit. Yeah, she's mean, but you're also family, Well, we were fine. We were fine. Titania was a little sad.
I missed you too, Visa.
You have a weird way of showing it.
I came to the first place I could think of.
This place?
No, it was the closest.
We
traveled through some of the autumn forests in the Unseelie territory.
The autumn forest? Really?
Yeah. It was quite spooky, but thankfully we met Athos, the tree folk.
You always did like the tree folk.
Well, yes. What did I name him? Oh, I didn't put it on here, did I?
That's the first thing.
Oh, yeah, Kolfanor. Yeah, well, ever since, my training with Kolfanor. They've been around a lot longer. He's still around,
admit it.
right?
Oh, yeah. He won't admit it, but he was worried about you, too. We were afraid something bad had happened to you.
No. A little bit, but I'm in one piece.
Well, where are you going now?
To go see Titania. Are you going to lead us there or not?
Zenith, I don't know if it's a good idea for you to go back just yet. She was very upset when you left.
I'm not scared of her. He obviously lied.
Well, you should be. She's not happy with you. She cried for days. It rained for days. Do you know how often we get rain here? Not often.
It's true. That's true.
You know what her mood swings can do to this place.
Sorry to interrupt, but Titanium was your boss, right, Andre? Zenith, whatever your name is. Like, why was she so upset that you left? Like, can't she just hire someone else?
Yeah. Has somebody taken my position?
Not exactly. They've kind of parsed out your duties, but she hasn't really replaced you.
What did you used to do for her? Weren't you just like you told us you were a servant.
That's what I said.
Okay, and what is the truth?
I didn't lie.
What kind of servant were you?
The best.
Best servants
I-
don't usually run away.
That's a good point.
I had no freedom to do what I wanted. I wanted to have my life of adventure and see more than what I was shown.
Yeah, that's valid. I mean, couldn't you just have asked for some vacation time, though?
Maybe, but I didn't. That
Okay.
in
Well-
retrospect, I guess that kind of makes sense, but I don't think she would have. I don't think that would have happened.
Your name is Visa, right?
That's right.
I understand that that you believe it's not the best time for entry to Zenith, whatever your name is, to go back. However, we are a little bit in a clutch, sorta like, and she might have information that might kind of help save the world.
Worlds, potentially.
Multiple worlds, yes.
Including this one.
What information do you need? Because I'm not so sure she's going to want to see any of you if you are traveling with Zenith right now.
I'm gonna look at the group like kind of seeking approval for divulging this information.
Andrew nods. So,
Do you happen to know anything about Dragon Orbs?
No, I don't.
Do you happen to know if she might know anything about Dragon Orbs?
Tania knows everything.
Well, that solves one issue.
also, I know you've said that you've met Snareshine. Do you know?
What do you want
Yeah.
with Snareshine?
Snareshine probably knows where some Duragar are that know where the Dragon Orb might be. If Snareshine themselves doesn't know outright where it is, or have it.
Well, you're right. Snareshine probably does know. But Zenith, you know that Snareshine is incredibly dangerous. Do you really want to risk going to see her?
We kinda don't have many options. If we want the planes to survive and like not fall into ruins and destruction and all hell, you know.
Yeah. Couldn't you help us out a little, Visa? You know, letter of recommendation, anything like that?
Maybe.
Introduce us over tea?
I don't know that I can. but I think Ileana may.
Where is she?
She's with Titania.
Do you think you could fetch her?
Maybe, but it will take some time.
Sorry. I
If
think
you're...
we're staying points in the direction. I think we're staying at the White Poplar.
Okay.
Did.
At this point, she doesn't know the rest of you. She knows Indri. So she's gonna pull Indri to the side. And
Yeah. Tristan steps forward.
Yeah, I was gonna say, entry waves Tristan.
Yep.
Over.
they'll listen in on whatever it is.
Yep. Tristan marches forward as like very much in like a knight guarding nobility position.
Okay.
Not saying anything, just marching with hand on the sword.
Citizen Fricks, what do you want to know from Snareshine?
We're looking for an artifact called a Dragon Orb. It apparently has the souls of ancient dragons in it or something.
Sounds awful.
It does, really. But the cult of Tiamat, ancient evil dragon queen, is trying to gather them to summon her onto the material plane. She comes from hell or the abyss. I always confuse them.
She was imprisoned in hell, but
She and her cult look to dominate all of the different planes, including ours.
Again, sounds awful. Citizen Fricks, I know where to find Snareshine.
I figured.
I've been there once. Titania sent me. It's very scary. And she's very dangerous. But if you head duskward to the Sharpswood Vale, do you know where that is? And you would.
Yeah, and nods.
Or at least kind of the region.
Yeah.
You'll see signs of her lair. Citizen Fricks, if you go there, you might not come back. It's a dangerous place. And I'm not convinced that she's not on the other side now. I'm not sure she was ever on our side.
It's a risk that we have to take. On the material plane, the mortal world, I have become a renowned hero. Well, our group has.
Citizen Fricks, I can tell when you're lying.
he is not. As surprising as it might be.
Well,
Maybe I'm stretching it a little bit. We're up and coming heroes. We
We save the world.
saved Helm's Hold, which was this big castle building place.
keep telling me about awful places.
Yeah, it's way too much iron there. But that's where they summoned a big great evil, and Tristan here, my loyal guard and savior, protector, fought him one-on-one at a point until they both fell through the portals to hell.
Indeed.
With your help, Visa, I think we can handle Snareshine. Hopefully. Can you tell me the truth about your meeting with them?
Ania was upset with Snareshine. I don't even really remember why, but she sent me there to bring her to the court. And you know she doesn't come.
No.
I got out about half of my message before her minions ran me out of the wood, and I barely got out of there. She was really upset. She doesn't like our kind. She sent
Damn.
someone back to the summer court to apologize to Titania, and apparently that smoothed things over, but I am never going to forgive her.
I will get vengeance for you, Visa.
You know she's powerful. And
So
I don't think you should go, but if you feel like you have to.
I'm I'm maybe smaller than I was, but I'm much stronger, much more compact in my connection to the weave.
And he has able friends. And servants.
Well. If you search around Sharpswood Vale, just look for webs. And you'll find her.
Okay. Do
She
you
lairs
know
in a cave.
in a cave? Okay. Do you know of any weaknesses she might have? Any vices?
Any vices?
Hopefully other than
No,
rat.
What was that? I'm sorry?
Hopefully other than rat.
Or eating fairies? As is Endry's headcanon anyways.
No. I don't. I just know she collects information, and she's very dangerous. And she looks very, very scary. And
Well,
there are
thank
a
you
lot
for-
of things at her service, so be careful.
I'm always careful. That's my number
No,
one
you're
thing.
not.
I am now. Especially after my trip there. Now that I didn't have Tiandra's protection, or Titania's protection. What are you gonna tell Titania?
Don't know. I'm gonna have to tell her you're back. I don't want her more upset at me.
That's fair.
If she finds out I knew you were here, then... and didn't tell her, then she will be very, very upset with me.
Well, try and sell up the whole thing for me.
I will. Maybe by the time you get back. If you get back. She'll be willing to see you.
Let's delete this dagger from inventory. I don't have anything cool to gift her. Oh. Endry will pull out one of Athos's acorns and push it at Visa
Okay?
and say, take this as a sign that I am going to come back and collect this.
She like holds it and she's just like, gross.
Don't lose it. Very important.
You always did collect the weirdest things.
It's not weird.
A little weird.
It's a baby tree.
Not yet.
Soon. If I'm not back in time for the next festival, plant it for me.
Okay. I feel like it.
I don't know. Give it to Titania as a sign that I will come see her.
She nods.
Tell her I fought you off, and that's the only reason I didn't come back with you.
Zizenfrix, you know that she knows I could take you in a fight.
Well, he had soldiers fighting for him.
To be honest, I'm pretty sure I could take you in a fight too.
She's very strong.
Fairy combats.
That would be
It's like a combat of the princesses.
interesting to test. Shut up, Yarrick, you're not here.
My friends are gonna start worrying about me, Visa. You go tell Titania you found me, but were unable to convince me to come with you.
We'll see if she believes it. And with that,
She won't.
she like kind of like rushes in and gives you another hug really quick.
Kind
And
of
then
awkwardly hugs her back.
yeah, it's awkward for sure. You guys don't hug. And then she just says, "Well, Zizenfrix, I'm glad you're back.
Me too.
Just be safe, okay?"
You too, Visa.
She lets you go and begins to hover away.
Thank goodness she's gone.
So I'm assuming we're headed to Sharpswood Vale.
Yes. Let's let everybody know. It's gonna be quite the dangerous journey.
Thurston nods and marches behind Endry.
Yeah, so we'll just kind of reconvene with the group.
So you smoked things
so-
over?
How'd it go?
Sorry, what is it, Bear?
I was gonna say, Yarrick, I was talking with you a little bit in the Discord. Really seriously, if you want to, it's fine with me if you want to retcon that purchase. And if you want a +1 shield, I would allow you to say you found it in the city, but it would be 1,500 gold rather than the 1,200. If you want, but I just want to make sure you're happy with whatever you purchased.
All right, I'll take the +1 shield, I suppose.
Okay, that's fine.
It was nice to see my sister again.
So, Zizenfrix, is that like... People just call you that? Is there like a
That's
nickname?
such a
Frizz?
weird name.
Zizzes? Zizzy? It's kind of like a mouthful, you know?
I guess you can call me whatever you want.
Do you prefer Endry?
Would
or
you
do
prefer to be called Endry?
Yeah. Or do you prefer Zizenfrix? I mean, it's a lovely name. It's just, you know, a lot of syllables.
It
We're just
is.
gonna kind of make fun of you for it, but other than that.
I mean,
It's
that name is
lovely.
longer than you.
Get the one
He
yard.
has a point.
Yeah, let's just keep calling me Endry. That's my new name.
Okay, Endry it
That's-
is.
That's my mom name.
So, where are we headed, Andre?
Well, my sister, that was Visa. I think I mentioned that she had interacted with Snareshine, the Archfey, before.
Yep.
She told me where we could find them in the Sharpwoods Vale.
Alright. Should we get going?
We have to go Duskward, so back towards the Unseelie territory.
Okay.
Awesome.
Oh.
Getting tired of noon.
How far away?
Let me consult
really hard.
my overbeing
It's really hard to track like
distance.
here, mostly because there's a lack of time, more or less. You know, I don't know if.
A day's travel. Wink.
Yeah. So like, personally, I've hiked like in the Arctic Circle before, and it was in the summer, and the sun was out till like midnight, basically, and you just lose track of time when there's no movement of the sun and you're used to it. It's like that. So like you could hike for 20 hours and not realize that you have moved, basically, or that it's time for you to be asleep. I would say that because you don't know exactly where you're going, you don't really know how far. But it's you know, by material plane standards, probably at least a day or two's hike.
Can I use the compass to at least point towards the veil?
Yeah, I would say you at least know like ish where the veil is. You've seen it on a map, even though maps are pretty much useless here.
Yeah, maps are more like board games here.
Yeah, they're more like rough
Shooting
suggestions.
ladders.
If we are marching for a day, probably should let Tolman know and bring him along unless there is any good reason not to.
I don't like him.
A good reason, I mean.
I don't like him.
It could be helpful.
Can he keep his mouth shut?
I can try ordering him to do so, but that hasn't worked for me in the past. No.
Because if we're gonna try diplomacy, he's gonna have to keep his mouth shut.
Oh, he will keep his mouth shut on that circumstance, I'm sure.
Okay, that's acceptable.
Oh,
Could I kick him?
Tristan shrugs.
Okay.
Should we set off then?
I think we should.
Yeah, we can just say that you went and retrieved Tolman, who is grumpy about having to go that far into any backcountry, but reluctantly follows you because he has to. Okay, so you guys are going to need to hire a boat to get back across the bay, if you like.
And I guess who still has no money?
It would take 10 gold. We'll say that it's a little bit cheaper since it's a city. Or like a ferry, like for somebody to take you across.
I
Okay.
only have 2 gold now.
Ren will pay for it.
Yeah, all of you guys are broke now.
That's 10 gold total, right?
Yeah, 10 gold total.
Okay.
Adding... Let me count. Adding 2 gold pieces to my debt to Ren.
2, don't worry about it.
Lawful. I must worry about it.
Okay. So you're able to get across the bay pretty easily, and you land in a pretty like a similar spot to where you left. And real quick, just to throw it out there, since we're not, so we don't have to do it at the same time we're discussing this. We land on the beach, and if we want to, this is probably a good place to stop. Because if we keep going, I have like a whole nother encounter
Yeah, it felt like...
planned for this specific thing. So if we want to stop, this would be a good spot, or else we're probably going to be playing for like another hour and a half. Not a good, well, I say that, not a good stopping point from here on out.
Let's make it here then.
Okay.
Mhm.
I can do another hour and a half, but
Right.
yeah, also...
So, I guess we'll keep the TPK until next week or next time we play.
Yeah.
Oh,
Want some
we're
action.
gonna be able to get to that encounter and finish that in an hour and a half?
No, absolutely not. I
Well,
don't think so.
yeah, I could probably TPK you guys in an hour and a half.
Sure, but very nice.
I don't
so-
mind. I don't mind an hour and a half. I want some action.
I definitely want to keep playing. But
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Nonsense.
dying for the hard combat, but I totally get it if people need to call it. So
Yeah.
whatever you guys prefer.
I mean, if we're getting sleepy, or if we
I
have any reason to stop, that's fine.
Yeah, I think there were some people calling for stops, so
Yeah,
I mean, our plan, we usually stop around 11 anyway, so.
yeah, it's fine. Like I really don't mind, and it gives me more time to plan like this encounter and maybe balance it a little bit better. So, but it is going to be a hard fought battle whenever we get to this particular encounter. So,
Plus, I think if we're going into a hard encounter, I would like to be, like,
sure, makes sense.
awake.
Yeah, that's valid.
And it's going to be a little bit before we even get to that battle. So
When's the
that
next
is-
time we play then?
what's that?
When's the next time we play?
I think we
Probably
can
2
discuss
weeks from
that
now.
Off stream.
Has
Yeah.
everybody? Oh yeah, that's fine. If we want to go ahead and call it. Thank you for anyone listening,
yeah,
and
thanks
tune in
for
next
watching,
week.
everybody.
Or whenever
Bye.
we.
Or
end
2
up
weeks from
giving
now.
up.
I promise we'll be
Bye-bye.
more consistent after the new year.
Alright.
Love you,
And
viewer.